Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here, oh, look at Nussflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Ken. Kenny Ken wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donuts Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Ken, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97. Home. That is way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado Custodian, Billy Friedrich. Joe's one all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Meyer, nowhere!
Oh no, Fanatical Jim.
From the corporate Peter Low Shack, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a dawn. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio, bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this but they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing, betting with the bag and you love it. We want a top 10, we above it. Legend.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, December 10th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Man, the battle is real. We had our NFL bankroll blitz last night. 17 open bets on the NFL slate, and there's a whole bunch more I want to make. Maybe 5 more, let's say, that I want to make. I'm close to moving on. And then you get all your action out and you have to attack the Wednesday cards. So as you can imagine, I'm lacking sleep, but I'm pumped up, man. I'm pumped up. We have NHL, NCAA basketball, and NBA. I got through everything in NCAA till about the 9 p.m. game, like just the last 5 games. I have 7 bets, 6 games. I added a 7th game that I'm close to moving on. As soon as the show's over, I'm going to hammer the last few games on the card and see if I make moves. For the moves, though, only one line's gone against me, which is a good sign. The spots that there's a couple spots that I liked, and then when I woke up this morning, there had been heavy moves in that direction. I'm not going to bet a line 3 points, after it's moved. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. It's great to see all of you guys. Crip Key in the house. Play of the day, the New York Rangers money line. I'm excited. We have AM Sports Picks. It'll be the first time we kept the card together. He's capped once here with Jose, but it'll be the first time that we rock together. His systems have been working beautifully. It'll be fun to attack with him. We have Stacks Play Day number 1 and 2, and that Baylor Norfolk State is on right now. I came close to moving on Norfolk State first half and starting the show 15 minutes early. I decided not to. With Baylor coming off, if Baylor wasn't coming off the loss, I would be on it. Norfolk State coming in at a nooner. If I had a free bet, I would be on it. But it wasn't enough to move the needle here. We have action, though. We have Justin McKelvey, Stacks Play Days on right now. The over 149, which we'll also be able to live bet as we go on. Stacks Play Days happening right now.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
And that means we have the corner of Stacks and Pig Milk Boulevard because the Pig Milk Play Today is the over 148. We have the Goracle in the house. Oloj Aris money line in Euro Cup. Slolnok Olo Ari. I'm butchering it. I can't. I gotta stop. But it's right there in the chat. The Goracle moving on Euro basketball with AOD in the house. The Nuke Worker and more in Nebraska. Lakers Nebraska money line parlay. So we have AM for NHL. Then Jose is going to help with NCAA basketball. Just go over my bets. Every single game we'll be talking about, except for the last one, which I still want to move on, our bets. It's not content for content's sake. We're firing away. I wish I had had a little bit more time. Robert McCormick in the house. Toby Lane ready to get to work. Yeah, the Oilers. Yeah, I moved on them live too, so you know that roller coaster ride. They tied up with 1 second left, and then Draisaitl clearly wins the face-off back, and Bouchard's going to get pushed around by Alex Tuck. I wouldn't be able to look Bouchard in the face after that. Maybe the next day I would look at his ugly ass face, but you for you not to be able to control the puck there is very upsetting. And then, of course, there was some poor defensive accountability by both Draisaitl and McDavid, not being fully aware, especially of the one sniper on the ice. You got 3 guys on McLeod and nobody on Alex Tuck. Clowns. Toby Lane, we're going to get that back here. I've got 2 moves on the NHL card. I want more, and we have AM to rock with us here. We're going to get it back. AOD in the house. We got Jason Meyer, the El Dorado custodian, ready to get to work. Andrew G. Justin McKelvey. We talked about Stacks. Johnny Blaze here. Flank Steak Play Day. Calgary Flames moneyline. And UT Martin on the spread. And Purdue on the spread. Notre Dame team total over. And Spurs on the spread. I have not moved on NBA. There's going to be so much cash on those 2 games. I just thought it'd be okay to let the market kind of marinate. They're capped. I'm ready to attack. We got Super True Story We got Deacon Mike, Steve G. Yes, the Preds. I mean, isn't it? I mean, these incredible hockey teams. I still, Oilers are not an incredible hockey team, but they have incredible players. McDavid scoring, Beckett Seneca, the Toronto boy, 19-year-old, first rookie to 10 goals scoring with 0.1 seconds left shorthanded to tie up the game. Now the Ducks took care of business. I would have been on the Ducks. I was afraid of their first road game. It's funny, both the Ducks and the Kings have handled that first road game out west very well. I don't know why I'm hesitant to move on the teams in that spot. And then you had Cale Makar score with 8 seconds left to ensure that the Avalanche don't lose in regulation. And then, God, I'm sure there's a ton of people who had bet live on the Avalanche and then see O'Reilly score. And, I was okay staying away from that. But Deacon Mike, Steve G, great to see you guys. Billy Friedrich, he moved on both Edmonton and Colorado Live last night. Rich in Van City says draw season was alive and well last night. It sure was. Are you still in Mexico, Rich? Thinking of you, man. We got Yankee JJ in the house. AJ Stock still. Michael Johnson. Chill Will ready to get to work. Urban Pope. Great to see all you guys. Michael Johnson saying Kings tonight. I'm interested in that. I am interested in the Kings. They're pretty big favorites. Now, the Kraken have lost a lot of games in a row. I was hesitant to bet them as this big of a favorite, but we'll talk National Hockey League right now. Thank you guys for joining us. Wednesday, December 10th. Let's attack this board and let's get that cash. Please welcome, for the first time for the two of us to be capping an NHL card together. I'm excited about it. Please welcome our guy, AM Sports Picks, to the show. AM, what's good, man? How are you?
Good. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm a little frazzled, a little shaky, which is, I guess it's just this time of year. That was week 15 that we capped last night, Bankroll Blitz. So really, there's only 3 more weeks of the, 14 to 18-hour sessions of prep to be ready for the Tuesday show. And my health could use it to be over, man. And then I'm pumped up after the show. I get all my action. I'm pumped up. And so I start capping the card, and then there's just no chance of sleep. I'm just, just sitting there staring, watching the minutes change. But I'm excited to be here. I'm thankful to rock with you. We've all been loving what you've been doing in our Discord, in our chat. So I'm ready to rock here. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Just working. So on my lunch, hanging out, starting to take a look at some stuff tomorrow. I looked over the games today. I only have one bet in NHL, but I have some opinions on some of the games. So it'll be fun to go over and see what you're thinking as well.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's get to work here. Tariq B says, what's your take on the Ravens news regarding the referee calls? I haven't looked too much into it, honestly, but I think they should shut up and play football is my first instinct. And I haven't read the articles on purpose. Like, I've seen them and be like, look, can you just understand that some calls go your way, some calls don't, and man up, play some football, stay focused, and stop whining. So that's my first instinct, but I haven't spent too much time on it. Derek Barry giving you a shout out for that call on the Buffalo Sabres yesterday. Deacon Mike says, FanDuel give me $300 in bonus bets. Would you bet it all on one game or what? You have till December 16th to use the 300. That's interesting. I guess I would probably split it onto the two favorite spots, or I would focus on NFL. I think there's some really incredible spots in NFL, but we'll see if we can pull something out here, and we'll see. I think
with those bonus bets, you should be trying to take shots with them. So, if you want to do like NFL first touchdown scorer, actually place bets on those, because those are things that you probably wouldn't normally bet, right? Because you're actually risking money, but with bonus money, you can punish the books for those lines if they hit.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
I used to go for like the safe picks, the ones, so you can try to guarantee that money. I just think that's wrong. You're not getting your initial wager back, right? Because it's a bonus bet. You need to go after the plus money spots and really try to get the true value of the free bets. That's my opinion.
It's an interesting take. For me, I just want to win and turn that into cash.
I get that.
And it's especially if $300 or $150 is not quite your unit size, it gives you a chance to kind of create that and roll it over. But I don't think there's a wrong answer. I respect that for sure. So Billy Friedrich saying split it into thirds and get something at plus money, even if it's small. Yeah, I mean, Deacon, I could, there's so many options, but there's a few spots in NFL that I'm just in love with at this point here. And Deacon turned that 300 from DraftKings into 800. Beautiful, beautiful work, Deacon. Yeah, I would just put it into 2, I think, personally. 150. But I also like Billy's 100, 100, 100. And Justin McKelvey says he always uses bonus bets on his absolute best bet. I just want to win the free money. I'm with that too. And again, I don't think there's a wrong answer in that. We got my man Ricky Levine in the house. He's on the Blackhawks, Utah, and the Kings. Well, let's get to work, AM. Now, I do have your record from your first show with Jose. Just after one person does one show, I just the sample size isn't. We want to.
Yeah, I only have one real bad thing, so it's fine.
Yeah, we kind of want to wait for the sample size to go a little bit. So, and Deacon, yes, I'm be happy to be blamed, and let's roll, my man, let's roll. Steve G says his bonus bets are always plus money. All right, Yankee JJ, let's get to work here. We got AM Sports Picks, a 4-game National Hockey League card. This will be the shortest betting with the bag you will ever see.
Oh yeah.
I know Jose's laughing right now saying, well, we're 18 minutes in and we haven't capped the first game, but it will be the shortest betting with the bag you'll ever see. 7:30 p.m. Eastern with the New York Rangers, 15-12-4, 12-4-1 on the road. The Chicago Blackhawks, 12-11-6, 6-5-3 at home. United Center in Chicago, Illinois. For me, I messaged Jose. I'm like, I'm frazzled. I'm shaky. And he's like, he doesn't like to hear it, and I'm just like, And then as soon as I get on camera with you guys, and we've done the work is being done, then I feel really good. So I'm really happy to be here, excited to be here with you guys. I don't feel it. Maybe it's the adrenaline, but I feel good. And also, if you don't do the work, how can you make the bets? How can you get the cash? So it's all part and parcel. New York Rangers, Chicago Blackhawks, United Center in Chicago, Illinois. We have Igor Shesterkin expected. Again, I'm not sure about the goaltenders, especially for the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks here, because they had Arvid Soderblom listed. Why wouldn't they go back to Spencer Knight here? So I do think it's going to be Spencer Knight, but I'm not entirely sure. Shesterkin, 12-9-3, 2.46 goals against average, 9.13 save percentage, 1 shutout. He's been playing better. It's interesting that Adam Fox is being hurt and Shesterkin and the Rangers are still playing quite well. I've questioned whether Adam Fox was maybe partially the blame. There was times where they would have him in a conversation with Cale Makar and Hughes and with the top defensemen in the league, and I don't think anyone's having that conversation anymore. Spencer Knight, 9-6-5, 2.62 goals against average, 9.14 save percentage, 1 shutout. I expect him to be in net. Let's go over the line history here. Again, I don't really care about the cash in NHL, but if you're looking at my record, you should probably be saying, well, Jimmy, you should start caring about it. Look, I just got to keep my head down and keep firing, and I believe I can fix this. I've fixed it in years past, and I just got to fix it again. The money line opened up at plus 122. It's now plus 123 for the Blackhawks. There had been a slight move towards the Chicago Blackhawks. From a total standpoint, we have a 6, and it's minus 111 to the under. And I have moved on the total. Rangers power play 17th overall, 18.8%. Penalty killing at 19th, 80.2%. Chicago power play 9th at 23%, and their penalty killing is 6th, 83.3%. The Rangers coming off their second straight 3-2 overtime loss on Sunday. So we have, Rich and Van City talking about, the amount of draws and how it's draw season. Well, 3 of their last 4 Rangers games have gone to overtime. Yankee J saying that Shesterkin is confirmed here. So 13 of the last 15 Ranger games have seen 6 goals or less. 11 of their last 15 games have seen 5 goals or less. They're just playing a tight defensive type of hockey. So what would be the problem with the under? Well, it would be that the Blackhawks have been annihilated and have allowed 13 goals over the last 2 games. those happened the last 2 games of a road trip. The second half, after beating the Kings, they played them again in the same building. They got destroyed. And then the Ducks destroyed them, after Bedard was beaking off at the bench a week and a half ago, and the Ducks took it out on them because the Ducks are a better hockey team than them. So I can explain what happened to them, and I expect them to tighten up the ship. This has been a decent defensive hockey team throughout the year. The Rangers struggle scoring goals. So I moved on the under 6 here, the under 6 at minus 110 a.m. Our first game of the card, Rangers Blackhawks. Take it away.
Yeah, this is the one game I really don't have too much of a strong opinion on. There's a lot of things that kind of pull me in different directions, so that's pretty much the main reason for that. I do think that you just gotta, I think really what it comes down to is, do you think the Blackhawks respond to, 2 embarrassing games in a nasty road trip, and do they show up today or do they not? If you think they do, I think you should be betting the Blackhawks. If you don't, you think this is kind of the downward trend for them, you need to bet the Rangers. As far as an over-under, like I said, I have systems on both sides that are conflicting, saying the Rangers are going to score more, but also that Blackhawks aren't going to allow as many goals. So this is the one game I just don't really have a strong opinion on. But, if you can answer that question on if the Blackhawks are going to show up or not, I think that's probably how you should handle the game.
Yeah, I agree. And if the Blackhawks don't show up, I'm going to look to fade them for the rest of the year. If you can't step up here after allowing 13 goals, being outscored 13-1 in back-to-back road games in California, come back in front of your home fans and step up, then I'm going to question a lot about this hockey team.
Yeah, so, if I had a free bet, I'd probably, obviously take a shot at the plus money. Not to mention, this line doesn't necessarily tell me that the Blackhawks are in free fall. If they were, I'd see maybe plus 140, 145, even at home. So I kind of agree with that sentiment.
I agree with this line. We have a Rangers team that's 12-4-1 on the road. Shouldn't they be bigger favorites? Remember, this line moved 5 or 6 cents off the top towards the Blackhawks. Mm-hmm. They're not a huge dog. So I think this line is telling us the Blackhawks are going to menace here.
You're seeing all Rangers money come in. It's all Rangers action. So, if the books were tremendously worried about this, but it has moved. It definitely, Circa opened at 130. Now it's minus 140. There is some concern, but I would need to, when the books are really concerned on favorites like this, it moves 20, 30 cents. So I'm not sure what to think about that exactly.
And there's almost as much money in tickets on the under as there is on the Rangers, which does make me uncomfortable. Robert Cherry says, give me the Blackhawks first period plus a half and the first period under 1.5. I like both of those very much. Last year I was doubling up on my unders, and I have not been doing that this year because I haven't got hot with them yet. And I'm not. So I thought of it here. I was like, oh, that first period under 1.5 plus money. I think it's probably the right bet, because Shesty is going to, hold down the fort, and we just expect accountability from the Blackhawks in the first period. Now, I can't bet the plus a half. He's, Robert Cherry's tying them together, but you know what? I think that first period under 1.5 is, you have to think the Blackhawks play with extreme accountability. And here are the Rangers on the road who've been doing it. I might add that first period under 1.5. I've not bet the first period under 1.5 yet this year. I bet all just full game unders. Irish King in the house. Great to see you cashing with Carolina minus 1.5 last night. They are running. That's game one here. I'm on the under 6. I think I might add that. I think I'm going to add the first period under 1.5 as well and double down there. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. 8:30 p.m. Eastern. The Detroit Red Wings 16-11-3, 7-5-2 on the road. The Calgary Flames 12-5-4, 7-4-2 at home. We're at Scotiabank, Saddledome, and Calgary, Alberta. I'm very curious to hear everybody's thoughts on this game here because it's extremely interesting. On the one hand, you have the Flames who've won the first 3 games of a 4-game homestand. Generally speaking, I'd want to fade that team here on the last game of the homestand. But they are playing better than they played all year long, and they are worth backing at home. We've played 13 games at home for the Flames. They've won in regulation in 7 of them. They've only lost in regulation 4, so they're 7-4-2. Dustin Wolf is not stepping up. His analytics are really bad. I'm surprised. I really thought he would turn it around at some point. That is not happening at this point here in the season. One of the worst statistical profiles of any goaltender in the National Hockey League is Dustin Wolf, which is very, very surprising. Irish King, Cowtown is building a new stadium. I don't know if they've even started, though. I'm not sure if they've even started. They need to, though. It's very old building. It's bad. It's not about the fans. It's more about the players. Players don't want to play in Calgary because of the facilities. So we also have the Red Wings coming in off their second straight win in 3rd and 4 games, 4-0 at Vancouver on Monday. Now, we were on that, but this is game 4 of a 6-game road trip and the first of a back-to-back. They play at Edmonton tomorrow night. So it's tricky there. Are we going to get John Gibson or Cam Talbot? Now, they've both been bad. I don't know if we care that much here. Oh, it's already above ground, Kelly. Nice. Nice. Do you know when they're expected to be ready? That'll be great for the city. They need it. So Detroit power play 7th in the National Hockey League. Their penalty killing 22nd, but Calgary's power play is terrible. 15% power play. There's only a couple power plays worse than them. The Kings have the worst power play in the National Hockey League, but their penalty killing is strong. So the Flames also coming in off that 7-4 win at home versus Sabres on Monday. I just don't think that they get complacent just because, they have a bad record. They're kind of digging themselves into the hole. And I'm not high on this team at all. And I kind of want to move on Detroit. This total came out yesterday at 12:45 p.m. at 6, juice to the over, and it's not moved 1 cent. And then on the money line here, we have Detroit at minus 108. They opened up at minus 107. There was an initial move to the Flames, and then it came back. Rod Zwacky says stadium well underway. Nice. When's it going to be ready? Would love to know. Jose Perez on the over in this one. Take it away for us, AM. This is an interesting one that I've not moved on. My first initial thought was to bet the Red Wings and fade this sweep of the homestand, but I got cold feet. Take it away.
Yeah, I don't have enough conviction to bet this game either way. There was one thing that is kind of catching my attention a little bit. If I don't have a clear system on it, I'm not really betting it right now. But I have conflicting systems on both sides, kind of telling me to bet either team. The stronger systems are on Detroit, so it'd be a very, very small lean for me on Detroit. But I think the best way to actually play this game is I see there's some action on it. The line isn't really moving, but I like the under. I don't think what the Red Wings are doing is sustainable. 5-5, 4-4. I just don't expect them to continue to score goals at that level. And that's not the way Calgary wants to play either. This game, to me, seems like an under. However you want to play it, whether it's first period or full game, I think those are both good looks. The other one that I think is an interesting way to play it is Detroit team total under. Because while I think Detroit probably does win, I don't feel that strong enough to bet it, but I think they – if they win, I think it's maybe a 3-1, 3-2 kind of game. I just think that, I'm the kind of bettor that doesn't want to continue betting on something. I don't look at past results and think that's what's going to happen in the future. I'm looking for overperformance, and I want to bet that it's going to regress, and I want to bet on underperformance and bet that's going to improve. So that's the way I would look at it. I think the under is probably live here.
Yeah, the Red Wings have been playing pretty clean defensive hockey. So and then Calgary coming off an outlier offensive performance. Mm-hmm. I feel like picking a side here, there's just a ton of volatility. Yeah. But I do lean towards the Red Wings. I just wish they didn't have the Oilers on deck. I do lean towards the Red Wings. I guess I'm going to hold off at this point. I think I'm going to have enough action here. I've got lots of college basketball action. Alan Action saying the Wings handling the Pacific Division. Wings at a pick'em is money. I guess. I guess I mean, I backed them against the knuckleheads who are terrible. That win against Seattle was underwhelming. Seattle's lost 7 in a row, so it's not like that's a win to be proud of. Okay, Loyalty Chisel, man, get that cash, buddy. If, there's nothing wrong with being on favorites, and maybe this is a Wednesday where all favorites cash, and I'm cheering for you, man. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. 9 p.m. Eastern. Florida Panthers 14-12-2, 4-6-0 on the road to the Utah Mammoth 14-14-3, 7-4-1 at home. We're at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. And Billy Friedrich saying we need to know who's going to be in net for Detroit. Need to know that. I guess Gibson is the hot hand, from the shutout, but they're both pretty below average. But let's talk Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. So we have Florida here on the first of a back-to-back. So we have Detroit having to play the Oilers on deck, and then we have Florida who have the Avalanche on deck. But that's not the key thing here. Now, so I'm not sure. We expect it to be Daniil Tarasov, but Bobrovsky's been so bad. I don't know if you want to throw him to the Wolves against the Avalanche. Now, maybe he'll feel disrespected if he goes, against Utah and Tarasov goes against the number one team in the National Hockey League, which is a possible situation here. Vejmelka, on the other hand, is supposed to be in net for the Mammoth. 12-8-2, 2.66 goals against average, 8.95 save percentage, 1 shutout. Florida power play, middling. They're just a middling hockey team without their superstars. And Barkov is, top 5 player in the National Hockey League. And Kachuk's probably top 10 player in the National Hockey League, maybe top 15 for sure. So they're missing these stars. And so they're a middling hockey team. Florida power play, 15th, 19%. And penalty killing, 16th, 80.4%. Utah power play is struggling. Logan Cooley's out now and for an extended period of time. And the offense is just not humming. Keller went through the death of his father. I don't know if that's affected him and the team. Gunther is not the 50-goal scorer that we thought he had the chance of being this year. So it's just not really working. But defensively, they're playing pretty well. They're ranked 10th with an 82.4% penalty killing unit. For me here, this is Florida playing their first road game since November 24th. And it's more than that. They've played one road game, that November 24th road game, one road game since November 10th. It's December 10th. One road game. And I want to fade them. I don't care what the Mammoth have been doing. And it's not been very good. But I want to fade this Panthers team who have just been so cozy at home. And I probably want to fade them again tomorrow night, especially after the Avalanche have lost. You'll probably have to bet that as soon as it comes out, and it'll come out any minute. So probably have to move on the Avalanche -1 immediately. Okay, Jaden Daniels officially announced out versus the Giants. Thank you, Kong, my man. So here we go. That is a huge, huge piece of the puzzle. And look what the Panthers just did on this last 6-game homestand. They lose their first 4 games and look terrible doing it. Then they win Saturday night 7-6 in overtime over Columbus. Follow that with a 4-1 win at home over the Islanders on Sunday. There's nothing that's appealing to them. Now, the marketed line is moving towards them, but Utah's look bad. I got a +100. Now I could get a +104. So, that's not a great sign, obviously. We have Loyalty Chisel, too. He's on these Florida Panthers. This total opened up at 6 at -110 to the over. There was a 10-cent move to the under last night at 10 p.m., and then it came back 10 cents to the over. So it's right back from where we started. Utah opened up their 3-game homestand with their second straight loss. It's also their 6th in 8 games. 4-2 at home versus the Kings on Monday. They're playing without Oli Mata and Juuso Valimaki. That hurts. Logan Cooley being out hurts as well, but it's the second game of a 3-game homestand against a team that's only been at one road game in a month. So I'm on the Utah Mammoth here, +100. AM, take it away.
Yeah, can't play the game just based on the price, but I do have one system that says to play the Panthers here off the blowout win. To bet them, I would need them at an underdog price. I get it. Like I said, I like the Mammoth team. I think they're a pretty good team. It's just, the systems I use perform better than my opinions typically. Another way to play it, though, in my opinion, is think we see some goals tonight. I don't hate the over as well. I think Florida seems like they may be getting a little bit more confidence offensively. And then them coming into the road in altitude for whatever reason, I'm getting pond hockey vibes here. I don't know how else to explain it. I see this being an up and down game. This is probably a big game for the Mammoth as well. They definitely want to knock off the 2-time cup winners, no matter if their roster's full or not. But like I said, I think Panthers put up a pretty good game here. If I could get the Panthers at plus 100, I'd be all over them. But at this price, it's a stay away. And then, like I said, I lean towards the over. I think we do see some goals here. So
I think you're probably right about the goals here. And obviously we've been succeeding in other sports with this home road dichotomy, and maybe with the NHL being a very honest sport, maybe it won't work here. But Aubrey Travis saying, I love how the Panthers are given so much value here. Look, if you've played one game in a month, I'm going to fade you on the first time you go on the road. I think I'm just going to do that across every sport. So I'm going to do that here. Yeah, 40 kid, that was tough. That was a tough one to watch. I mean, they paid us out for 2 nights in a row, but that was tough to watch. So I'm on the Mammoth. I'm on the Utah Mammoth plus 100. Now, don't forget, Florida looked awful on the road to start the year. Now they're 4-6 on the road right now, but remember they lost they went on a whole road swing. They lost their first 4 or 5 road games of the year. They won a few back, and then they stopped going on the road. So
yeah, I mean they have a sub 500 road record right now. So meanwhile Mammoth 7-4 at home. I just those kind of things tend to think that it will regress. I don't expect the Panthers to be sub 500 come playoff time, but assuming they get in or anything. But yeah, like I said, I just system tells me bet a team if they're an underdog on the road after a blowout win. Kind of think they're priced like this. Maybe inside of that, could also just be because notoriety of the team. Yeah, I like the Mammoth. I mean, I think overall they're a good team to bet on in a lot of spots. My personal opinion is, I'd probably take the home dog here. Florida coming up into altitude, feeling hot about themselves. I just don't, my systems outperform my opinion. So that's why I don't do that.
No, I feel you. And we're watching you succeed. I would say, honestly, and being on the other side of me is where you want to be to start the year. So this should, if you're on the Panthers, should give you just more confidence. I don't see why the Mammoth aren't the best bet on the board here tonight. What have the Panthers done to show that they can be a favorite and win on the road? They've shown nothing. No reason for us to believe that. They look terrible on the road to start the year. Their statistical profile is based on them playing a month at home, and even then not playing very well. So I think the name recognition and others are the reason why, the line is moving towards the Panthers. 60% of the tickets on the Panthers, just 52% of the cash. I guess that doesn't really follow the idea here. Let's see what Circa is doing. Circa's only moved it a cent towards Florida, but they have 58% of tickets and 74% of cash on Utah. Be interesting to see what they do with it. We have the respect play day from yesterday. Looking forward to hear the plan of action here today. Let's roll on to our final spot on the board. AM getting some love from Cappers in the chat. Love to see it. AM, we have the LA Kings 14-8-7, but 10-2-4 on the road. They've been very good at the Seattle Kraken 11-10-6, 6-5-3 at home. We're at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington. Darcy Kemper and Joey Decord, that's being confirmed here. Rez Mob, by the way, on VCU. I took a long look at VCU. I can see the appeal there. Here, thank you for sharing that with us, Rez. We're going to get into college basketball next, and then we have Daryl Rice joining us for NBA. So we have a fun show still ahead. Let's attack this final game here. We have a Kings team that has trouble scoring goals. Texas Sports in the house. Great to have you. They have trouble scoring goals. They have the worst power play in the National Hockey League. Decent penalty kill. They're also completely healthy. They're the healthiest team in the NHL. They're completely healthy for the first time in a while here. Seattle is power play 17.5%. Penalty killing is the worst in the National Hockey League. So you generally like fading the Kraken when you have teams that have a power play that can deliver, and we don't have that here, which is okay, but it's just the situation. Kings won the first game of their 2-game mini road trip 4-2 at Utah Monday night. It was their second straight win. Seattle comes in off their sixth straight loss, 4-1 at home to Minnesota on Monday. They've been playing all year without Jaden Schwartz, so it's not a big deal that he's out. Let's get the line history up here. We have a 5.5, and it's now really heavily juiced to the under. It's got to be an under, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know why. I was just wishful thinking. Could we get a 6? It opens up -116 to the under 5.5. It's moved 5 cents since then. It's a very low total, but appealing still. And then on the money line, you have the Kings at -150. They opened up at -145. I do think that they should probably be the favorite. But remember the Kraken started out the year without a regulation loss at home through like 6 or 7 games. And now they've been losing. They just lost to Detroit. I guess maybe I should have pulled the trigger with the Kings against the Mammoth. I was only on the Red Wings that night. AM, take it away for us here. LA Kings, Seattle Kraken.
Yeah, this is actually my one bet here tonight. I'm on the Kraken at +130. If you're on the Kings, I get it. I mean, Kraken, to make you feel better, Kraken have not been good to me. That's actually been probably where I've been getting blood out a little bit with them. I hope that regresses, but I also agree with the under. The system that says to back the Kraken is going after teams that have been allowing 4 or more goals at home in back-to-back games, or just 4 goals in back-to-back games, and they're now playing at home. And so the system overall is focused on, 4 goals is above average allowed, and so there will probably be some regression in those goals allowed, which also in turn means that team probably has an increased chance to win. So because of that, I am on the Kraken. But like I said, I think the under is probably a pretty sharp look. It's going to be an uncomfortable one. But I think both teams typically like to play towards the under anyways. But yeah, I mean, at 5.5, historically it's not a great number. The 6 is definitely what you want, but the fact that I don't think you can even get a 6 is probably telling you what you need to know, especially it's a juiced under at 5.5. So yeah, Kraken for me, leading towards the under though for sure.
Yeah, it's certainly. So it is the mom's trip for the Kings. I don't know how to really conceptualize that. Aubrey Travis says never disappoint the moms. I think you're right. I used to have no hesitation betting under 5.5, none, until basically this year when my totals started getting just destroyed. My unders were getting destroyed. But this one, I mean, clearly just opening up their arms to anybody who wants to bet the over.
Since we've seen the uptick in scoring over the last 6 seasons or so, 5.5s typically are a better over bet. Just historically, if you look through all the seasons, it's tough. But I will say the books don't offer as many 5.5s anymore as they used to. You go back 10 years, you'd see all 5.5s, even some 4.5s. You don't see that anymore. So it's I think it's just kind of a part of the times the way the league has changed is more offensively focused, a lot more protecting the players. I mean, you used to be able to get away with almost murder without a penalty. So yeah, I think the under's an interesting look. Definitely.
I mean, I like it. I like unders. The market is telling us to not be afraid and to bet it. You have the worst power play in the National Hockey League against the Kings or for the Kings against the worst penalty kill in the National Hockey League with the Kraken. It does set up for it. I'm very, very, very interested in the under here in this one. We have official action from AM Sports Picks on the Seattle Kraken at plus 130. So I'm on the under 6 at minus 110 in New York Rangers, Chicago Blackhawks. I'm very interested in adding the first period under 1.5. I honestly feel like Chicago's going to play so tight and so accountable that the real risk is Chicago scoring 2 goals in the first period. I know it sounds crazy, but if you got Chesty and goal, why would you be scared of that?
I had similar thoughts. I just kind of think, like if you're going to buy in on the Blackhawks are going to show up, I think it's going to be a little bit more than they'll just lock everything down. I think they're going to be pretty hungry to get that first goal. They've gotten absolutely embarrassed in back-to-back games where they put up 1 goal in those 2 just beatings that they took. I think they're going to want to lead very quickly out of the game.
Rich in Van City says Seattle's given up 4+ goals in 5 of their last 7 losses. Yes, but we have AM on Seattle, which and I was uncomfortable with the Kings at this number on the road. I know that they're 10-2-4 and they've been better on the road than at home, but still. And then I obviously have a bias of what the Kraken did in the first 6 or 7 home games of the season. So at this point, I'm going to be off of Detroit Calgary. I think it's a volatile game. I respect those of you making moves on it. I'm going to be on the Mammoth. I really like the Mammoth here. And then I expect to have the confidence to pull the trigger. One of the problems, though, here, and again, another spot that's going to be in my head, is that it's a minus 120. That's a little more appealing. My ROI I don't want to bet minus 125 totals ever again. You have to hit at a rate that's unlikely to be sustainable. And when I go over my year-to-year action, it's my minus 125 totals that are dragging me back. So I'm going to need to get better than that number. And then we have AM on the Kraken at plus 130. AM, thank you for rocking with us. You're going to see more of AM here rolling with us in NHL on the channel. I'm going to pop his X handle here in the chat. Please support our guy AM, rock with our guy AM. Also, he's on our Discord, putting all his action out. We're very, very fortunate to rock with him and thankful for all that he does for us. So I'm going to put his X handle here in the chat right now. Hit this link, support our guy AM. AM, thank you for all your hard work, my man. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
Well, thanks for having me, Jimmy, and good luck today, everyone. Just stay focused on just having a winning day, and you can string those along into a winning season. So have a good luck, everyone.
Respect. AM Sports Picks in the house. All right, we move on to college basketball. We got the respect play today. It is VCU first half. We have this Baylor-Norfolk State game on right now. Let's see what the hell's happening here in Baylor-Norfolk. Oh, wow. Okay. So, and Baylor just hit the 3, too. It was going to be a 13-point. So that's all very good. I stayed off Norfolk State first half because Baylor was coming off of a loss, not a win. You've seen how that's worked for us. And then we have both our guys, Stacks and Billy Friedrich, in business with the over. Deacon. All right. Thank you guys for the love for our friend AM. Kelly McInnes on Detroit Calgary tied at the end of regulation at plus 320. Let's get into college basketball here and bring on the backbone of us here over at Pub Sports Radio, the producer of this fine show. You may know him as Wesley Snips. We know him as Jose Bouquet. Jose, how are you, my friend?
We're doing all right here. Hopefully we have everything connected and ready to go here. Took some notes, and I'm ready to talk a little college ball.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this card here. I've moved on several bets. The season's gone okay. I mean, I know NHL is just this huge embarrassment for me, but NBA, NCAA basketball, and NFL are more than picking up the slack here. Overall, in NBA and NCAA combined, I'm 75 and 55. So, that's a 58% banger. I'm not going to be able to keep up 58% for the whole year, but let's just stay focused and get this money, Mr. Bouquet, my friend. Set us up and let's roll.
Sure. Let's talk about these games here. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Nice to see everyone in here. And yes, let us roll on here. By the way, Jimmy, I know we need to get into the action here, but I'd like to let you know that I got into a heated argument with a bunch of strangers today over fantasy football. Called people pussies, dumbasses,
Wow.
the whole thing. So I'm fired up this morning. You might not be able to tell by my voice, as it's always monotone, but we're fired up today.
Let's get a close look at you. You're fired up?
A little bit, yeah. You called people fucking idiots, dumbasses.
Oh, what?
Yeah. You had to drop all my players on my team in protest. Yeah, it was one of those mornings, Jimmy. I got fucked out of $100 basically in this.
Are
league.
these your friends from your youth?
No, strangers.
Oh, okay, strangers.
Strangers. Yeah. I got added to this league 2 years ago, and these people think it's cool to change the playoffs format in the regular season the day before the playoffs. So I had to let everyone know that it was a great time. But we'll talk about these games. I'm less fired up, Rod Zawacki. If you caught me at like 8 a.m. this morning when I started sending out these messages, it would have been worse. My hands are still sweaty, though. My hands are still sweaty, Rod. So shout out to you. But let's talk Princeton, Merrimack here. Merrimack going to Princeton here. There's 60% of the bets and 84% of the money on Princeton here. And that was as of about 20 minutes ago. I'll double check here now. 67% of the bets, 84% of the money on Princeton here. So a little more bets coming in. 67, like I said, coming in on Princeton. But the line opened up at 3.5, moved to 2.5 here for the Princeton Tigers. So obviously, Merrimack seemed interesting. More importantly, Jimmy, you can get into this game $9 to get into this game. Very nice. The thing that threw me off and didn't automatically make me move in this game here, Jimmy, was the fact that Princeton on a 5-game losing streak rolls in here as a favorite, and Merrimack on a 3-game winning streak, 3-2 their last 5. What do you think?
I am on the Princeton Tigers. This is, at this point, now we'll go through it all, but this is the lone game where it's gone against me. I moved on this last night. You know, Merrimack has played 5 games on the road, so it's not the perfect angle, but it goes back to what Jose was just touching on and the optics of this basketball game. Princeton is losing and losing. They've lost 6 straight games. They lost all 3 of their games in the adventure bracket for Terry's Chocolates, whatever. I don't know, whatever. Kissing Me, Florida.
What was those string of words you just said? What's
the Terry's Chocolate ESPN Events Invitational? Who the hell is Terry and where the hell is his chocolate? So they lost all 3 games in that tournament. And they played some of them really well. Vermont is a good basketball team, and they lost 79-74 to Vermont. They were down 43-26 after the first half, and they battled all the way back and got in contention. You know, this is a team who's played 3 home games, and they've won them all. We haven't seen them at home since November 20th when they beat Northeastern 70-57. They've also played at Kansas. You know, the only one of those home games was not against a D1 school. So Bucknell they beat by 10, Northeastern they beat by 13. They lose to Bradley, Temple, and Vermont. They lost in that tournament. They lost to Temple by 4 and Vermont by 5. Then they lose to St. Joseph's on a neutral by 2. They lose to Monmouth by 5 at Monmouth. They lose to Loyola Chicago on Saturday night by 5. You know, this is a buy low spot that I really, really like here. Oh, it's the Terry's Chocolate Orange. Okay. Sorry, fellas. I do
chocolate orange?
Yeah, you know that thing that you smash? It's the cheap, it's like if you had a stocking, it'd be stuffed with it.
Sure. That sounds like a terrible time.
Yeah, that's nothing sexual about that. That was just Christmas there.
No, I didn't think that at all.
Oh, I know you did.
That is not why my mind went to, but you know. Maybe it's a little early for me. I don't know.
Princeton. Look, I just think this is a great spot. 6 straight losses. They're the favorites. Everyone's going to look at what the Merrimack Warriors have done and want to back them. So, you know, a 3-9 team, but they're undefeated at Jadwin Gymnasium. And I think they take out the Merrimack Warriors here. Now, this line's moved against me. So I think if you're looking at these spots that I'm on and the line's moved, within a half point to a point and a half, I think that can give you confidence to back. Now, we also have, our guy Billy Friedrich on this spot. So maybe you just trust it. Look at that. Rod Zwacky saying bet under the total in Seattle games when they score 1 or less goals on this record since 2025, 23-2. I think they must be since 2024 then, right? Or I guess, it must be since 2024, but I like that. Deacon says he only uses stockings to drop 3 batteries in and to use as a weapon.
I'm sure you know something about that.
Okay. I'm on the Princeton Tigers here, and Kyle Hintley making a huge move on the Princeton Tigers, man. Kyle Hintley doesn't mess around, man. I'm with them, though, for way less money. But I only have $250 on Princeton. Makes me jealous, but I am on Princeton. Billy Friedrich says Merrimack lost to Penn by 12, another Ivy League school. Princeton Tigers for me, -3.5, -110. Let's roll on, my man.
Let's roll on indeed to Miami, Ohio versus UNC Asheville here. Miami, Ohio favored here. And we have no bet information on this game. Let me double check that again here. Again, that was like as of 20 minutes ago, so I don't think this changes. Nope. No bet information here. The line moved from -4 to -5 for Miami, Ohio here. They're on a 5-game winning streak. They are. UNC Asheville are 2-3 their last 5. They lost their last game that broke a 2-game winning streak they were on. And again, more importantly, you're going to have to pay up, Jimmy. You're going to have to pay up. You want to see these teams play. $34 to get into this building, Jimmy. Got to pay up. What do you think?
Well, I am my whole plan was to only be on the first half. I'm on UNC Asheville. I'm on the Bulldogs. I couldn't help myself with the +5.5. Got the +5.5 at -110. I didn't see other books hanging that number. I saw a lot of 5s out there. Let's see where it is now. Yeah. It was the 5.5 was much more expensive offshore. I could send this into 365. So I like this spot a lot for UNC Nashville. You have a Miami of Ohio team that's 8-0. So everyone's going to see this 8-0 record. Fact is they've only played 1 road game all year. It was November 15th at the Air Force, who are terrible. So they beat them by 15. And what have they done since? Their last 2 games. So if we just talk about December alone, they played Indiana University East, Div 3 College, and beat them by 44. And then they just played Maine, who are horrific, and beat them 93-61. Now they have to go out on the road and play UNC Asheville. And UNC Asheville is a good team. Maine, the team they just beat, who they let shoot 44% from the field and 39% from 3. Now they rebounded them by 19. Maine is 0-11 and 0-7 on the road. And I almost bet Maine today, honestly. I spent a lot of time on that basketball game. UNC Asheville is battle-tested. They just had a very tough game at NC State. They lose 75-63. The last 2 games at home, they beat UNC Greensboro by 5, and they beat App State by 12. Remember, we faded UNC Asheville with Tennessee State, and we got the cash there. But that was a spot where the market was really indicative that they were in trouble. Aubrey Travis is an 8-0 team. I'm right with that. I'm right with that. I'm right with that. I'm right with the optics of this basketball game. RedHawks beating up on, but the problem is I really did want the first half. And the first half was at a much shorter price. It was a +2.5. And I decided to take the full game at +5.5. I wonder if that's going to hurt me in the end. I don't want to double up on any of these spots. I really can't do that. Deacon says Miami of Ohio scores a lot of points, ranked in the top 6 for points scored per game. Yeah, look, Miami of Ohio might be a legit, decent MAC school. They may be a problem in the MAC. But look at who they've been playing. They've been playing against the weakest. This has got to be the weakest strength of schedule.
Fuck you, Kongs Clips. No fucking way.
What? What's
Pete
up?
Alonso is going to the Orioles?
No way.
Kongs, don't fucking tell me that shit, Kongs.
That's great news.
If Passon didn't break it, fuck me. God fucking damn it.
How much are they paying him?
5 years, 555. Fuck off. God fucking damn it.
I like it. I like it, man. I want him to go up against the Red Sox because the Jays aren't scared.
Fucking cocksuckers.
I like it.
Motherfuckers. Poor ass fucking team. Now they want to decide to fucking spend money.
I like it.
What an annoyance. All right. Well, just sign Alex Bregman and we'll be fine. And make the fucking Ketel Marte deal. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. No longer are we fearing the Boston Red Sox in the AL East anymore, man.
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, it's a wonderful time. Wonderful
We'll
time
see.
to be in the AL East. The Yankees and the Red Sox, we point and laugh at them now up here.
We'll see. We'll see.
Point and laugh at these guys. We want the Orioles to we want a little bit of competition,
Yeah, I hope you guys have your San Antonio Spurs redemption season. That's what I hope you guys have here.
We're not. We just want to win the AL East. That's all. That's all we care about.
We'll see. I have faith in the Red Sox team.
We just want to beat the Red Sox and Yankees. That's all we need. We don't care about anything else.
Marte, Alex Bregman. Who knows? Maybe we'll go get a bad man up in Detroit to come down to. Who knows?
UNC Asheville at +5.5, -110 for me. Yeah, I do think that I probably should have taken the first half. I think it's a 2.5 and not a 3 for a reason. But I'm not going to go back on it here. I'm on UNC Asheville +5.5, -110. Let's roll on, Mr. Bouquet.
God, so that just... What a fucking morning this has been. Jesus. The Orioles?
Why are you in pools with strangers, man?
Well, people say you want to play. I'm like, sure. What's the buy-in? $100? Yeah, of course. I need the action, Jimmy. I'm very good at fantasy football. And then these motherfuckers think it's cool to just be like, all right, playoff bracket set, 2 more weeks of the regular season. Go fuck yourselves. Fucking dummies. Western Kentucky Marshall here. And of course, Jamie, I'm not getting that buyout back or payout back. Of course not. Why would I? Why would I for them changing the rules? These bastards.
No, yeah.
All right. What an interesting game this has been to cap here. Western Kentucky Marshall, because this is one of those games that BOL opened early and opened farther than everyone else, and then everyone opens later on in the bullshit, and then they come on late. But Western Kentucky -1.5 point favorites at BOL to start here has moved all the way to -2.
Ooh.
Marshall, 60% of the bets, 70% of the money on Marshall. But again, that's just BOL. They open -1.5. Western Kentucky goes to Pick'em and goes to -2, -1.5 there. Everywhere else, for example, Bookmaker opened up Marshall -1, goes up to -1.5 here. Heritage, the same story. -1, got down to a Pick'em, then goes up to Marshall -1.5 here. So it was interesting that BOL opened it that early, moved it that much. Those types of moves always, have me confused. But what do you think about this one, Jimmy?
I love the spot. So this is now we have Spooner in the house. So the line's moved against us on Princeton. He's on Merrimack. So he's got to feel good about that line movement. He's on NJIT Eastern Michigan, and he's on Marshall with me. And I think I timed this pretty well. I got Marshall -1 at -103. It was an opportunity to have no VIG involved, and I jumped at the opportunity. Okay, so you guys, if my record with undefeated teams playing their first road game is undefeated this year. Now, we're running out of those opportunities because teams are playing their first road games, obviously. So we're going to talk about the result of the Miami, Ohio RedHawks and UNC Asheville. They played 1 road game. The same here with the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. They played just 1 road game. Now, they have played some neutral spots here in that tournament, Vanderbilt, South Florida, Wichita State, which they played well in. But they played 1 road game against Eastern Kentucky, who does not look good this year. They won 87-79. That's it. 1 road game this year. That road game was a month ago, November 10th. We're doing the same thing with the Florida Panthers. It's much better when you're dealing with amateur. Well, they're not amateurs anymore, but, kids here. Kelly McInnes also on the -1. We got Taint play of the day in here. Let's get this copied and pasted. And Spooner here says doubling up on Marshall. Says a 3-0. We're 3-0. in college basketball when we have the same bet, not knowing it. Yeah, we have not talked to each other this morning, so I didn't know his action. We have Taint play the day, which we'll get into in a second. But so here you have a 6-2 Western Kentucky Hilltopper squad that has played one road game, and it was a month ago, going up against the Marshall Thundering Herd, who have lost 3 straight. They lost their last home game badly to Lipscomb. They lose their last 2 road games. They lose a heartbreaker, 70-69 to UNC Wilmington. That was a game that, Marshall was supposed to win that basketball game, and they lose on the road. And then we have followed that up with another road loss at Ohio. They lose 88-81, and now they come back home. Ohio was the favorite in that one. Ohio was supposed to take care of business. And now they come back home against a team that has not played on the road for a month. Maybe this does require the double up. I'm not doubling up on any spots yet, but I think it's probably time to start doing that. But I'm on Marshall -1 at -103. Again, optics, statistical profile. I think everything sets up where the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers are worse than the numbers give them credit for. So I'm on the Marshall Thundering Herd here. We have the corner of NMB saying, how about Albany Yale? I couldn't get there. I tried to get to Albany and I couldn't do it. So again, we're giving out just spots that we're betting instead of just games to cap here. We stayed off that one, but I'm on Marshall -1 at -103, Mr. Bouquet. What do you think of this spot?
I think that I'm very annoyed with the Boston Red Sox right now. So I'll be honest, I didn't hear a word of what you just said. Right. I was simply doom scrolling, just hoping for more deals. I need deals. Deals, Red Sox. Deals. Something. Make me feel something. But let's go. I think you're on Marshall.
I am Marshall -1 -103. And before we do that, let's shout out our guy, Matty Ice. The Taint play of the day is in. And the Taint play of the day is Tennessee Martin plus 8.5. Taint play of the day, Tennessee Martin. All right, let's roll on to our next spot on the board. Jose, set us up.
Yes. By the way, Princeton mentioning that 2 of Princeton's best players are hurt, but that would make me personally feel better about Princeton because the fact that we're favored in that game is still very interesting nonetheless. But let's talk Bryant and Iona here next. Of course, whenever I think of Iona, I always think about Rick Pitino now and him prematurely coming in a courthouse. No action in this game here, money-wise. You don't have any information here, but this line opened up at -10 for Iona. It is now down to -9 Iona here. If you want to see the land that Rick Pitino once built up, it's $33 to get in this game. And both these teams are on a win-loss kind of streak. Bryant losing their last game and Iona winning their last game. So let's see if the trends continue with the win-loss. Jimmy, what do you think?
I am on the Bryant Bulldogs here, plus 9.5 at -110. I'm excited about this spot. I think that we are in business. Now, Iona is – I don't want to put too much faith into Iona playing so well on the road and playing so bad at home, but we keep seeing it over and over and over again. Now, Bryant's been in these road games. They weren't in that loss to Brown. They lost badly in their last game to Brown. They only lost to Harvard by 3. They also went to UConn and played pretty well. Lost by 23 points to UConn. They played 7 games on the road of their 10 games. So the statistical profile is based on them in tough situations. We have Iona coming off of a win. Their last 2 home games have been terrible. And I don't see why a battle-tested squad can't hang with the Gales here. Gales coming off beating the Sacred Heart Pioneers, beating them comfortably, 81-69. I think Bryant can stay in this basketball game. I think they can keep it within single digits. They're coming off of a wake-up call against Brown, one that hurt them. But again, you're on the road. They shot 38% from the field and 26% from three. So I believe that they can play better. I like backing teams off of a poor shooting performance. A team that's battle tested on the road, going up against Iona team that's doing nothing at home over and over and over again. So shout out to Dabby Cab in the house. I am on the Bryant Bulldogs plus 9.5 minus 110. Jose.
All right. I congratulate you there, Dabby Cab. Nice to see you as well. I will not do what you say, but I will continue to quietly boil over here. I feel like one of the fucking crab legs that Jameis stole and fucking threw into the boiler now. God. Unbelievable. 5 years, $155 million. They don't give it to Brett though, Schwarber. So they're just like, all right, let's just move this money to the other guy.
Don't you think those are pretty decent contracts for those two teams?
They're not going to age well. I'll tell you that.
They're not. I mean, yeah, they're not going to age well. But right now, they're
fine. Yeah, I wanted Alonzo.
Yeah,
at least for the next 2 years, he's going to be great. 2-3 years. Oh, God.
We got a big one here. We got a big one because we have our game, big one coming up. We also have AM on the total, and this is the double down spot for me.
Oh, he's doubling down here. Hopefully, maybe on the Purdue Boilermakers, who just got their asses kicked last time out by Iowa State. They dropped from number 1 to number 6. They've been rolling the whole season, 4-1 in their last 5. 88% of the tickets, 92% of the money is on Purdue in this game. BOL opened this up at a 19, goes up to a 20.5 here. Interesting note about this line movement as well. Heritage opened up at 18.5, all the way up to 20.5 now as well there. So all the numbers are all going up here. Minnesota 2-3 their last 5. That Indiana beat them last time out here. And I did not write a ticket price, I guess, because these tickets will be pricey probably because Purdue, good team. So what do you think, Jimmy?
Look, I mean, nothing is easy here. We have AM on the over 142.5. So I'm not going to say that, this is easy, but Purdue just took the biggest loss by a number 1 seed on home court in the history of college basketball. In the history of the NCAA basketball. They are getting destroyed in the press. Everybody's talking about it. And the Golden Gophers are going to feel the wrath of a very, very, very angry Purdue squad. We've only seen Minnesota on the road one time this year. They went to Missouri and they lost by 23. That was a month ago on November 12th. Now they have to go play a Golden Gopher team that is being dragged through the mud for that performance. The Purdue is going to be shot out of a cannon in this game. I'm on Purdue first half minus 12.5, Purdue full game minus 20. They're not going to, they just got publicly embarrassed. They're not going to take their foot off the gas. They're going to annihilate the Golden Gophers here. They're going to destroy the Golden Gophers. Sometimes things go wrong. In that game, that loss against Iowa State, it was like a 5-point game, and then Iowa State just exploded to begin the second half, and Purdue couldn't figure it out. And now they've been sitting in that loss, and everybody's been talking about it, and the Golden Gophers are going to come to town, and they're going to get destroyed. This is a must bet, I believe. So I'm on, and there's my man BJ in the house. What up, BJ? This is, I will be astonished. There's no such thing as locks. I'm never going to talk like that, but And again, this is a unit on each first half and full game. So it's not sitting here with a 5-unit bet or anything like that. But I will be astonished if they don't absolutely annihilate the Golden Gophers here. I expect them to win by 30. I expect them to win the first half by 18 plus. Jose, let's roll on. Kong says he's with me on both.
I like that.
Hear it. Look, it's going to be a very public spot, but it's just situationally, you can't help but want to attack this. So,
yeah, I agree with you. Purdue would be my only look in this game as well. By the way, Jimmy, your fun fact of the evening now is that Pete Alonso and Kyle Schwarber make more money than Rafael Devers on an AAV per basis, and that is incredibly annoying. Liberty, NC State, next game on our docket here, Jimmy. The palms are sweating. They're leaking. You know, it's funny. They've been just constant, just hands have been sweating for the last week. The whole, I just not one moment where my hands aren't sweating, apparently, Jimmy. So you've passed this disease on to me, and I don't know whether I should thank you or not, but I have sweaty hands.
You shouldn't. But my disease went away after the 11-week run that I went on after Pubapalooza 4.
And I inherited it at Pubapalooza 4. We shook hands, and it just transferred right over. And whenever I shake people's hands now, they're going to be like, why the fuck is this guy's hands wet? NC State versus Liberty here is a game I'm getting wet for here. 57% of the tickets and 88% of the money on the Wolfpack here. This line opened up at 10.5, has gone up to 13 for NC State here. Got up to 14 at one point, early in the morning, 5:30, 6:30 in the morning. But come back down to 13.5 here, 13s. Great news about this. If you're in Raleigh, I don't know where NC State is, but $7 tickets to get into this game here. Only $7. By the way, Jimmy, NCAA finals or I guess regional finals for volleyball, $100 to get into that bitch. Good God.
Wow.
Good God.
I won't pay a cent to watch volleyball.
Oh,
I won't watch volleyball. In fact, you'd have to pay me $100 and I would still say no.
Well, maybe I'll pay you $100 to watch Helga's volleyball team at Pubapalooza.
That would be different. I would support Helga. I would support Helga. You wouldn't need to pay me. I would support Helga. I'll support friends. But
oh man, our friends at Texas Volleyball. Shout out to them. Fuck, expensive ass tickets, Jimmy. But what do you think about this matchup here? NC State Liberty. This line has pushed all the way to 12-13 for NC State.
We only have one spot. We're going to run out of these chances.
Yes.
We're going to run out of these chances.
We had one yesterday. I looked it up this morning. They didn't cover. I was very
they didn't cover.
Yeah. So I thought that was a good omen for, I guess, today.
Well, I also think that part of the success is not – I know it worked in that Arkansas game again with a good team, but I think that part of what works is not dealing with really good basketball teams. Because good basketball teams can find their way full game.
Yeah, there's a reason they're really good. Yeah.
So I think that we focus on, where we're like, this is an outlier record. It doesn't make sense for this, average or fine team in their own conference, but not out of conference. Here, Liberty has yet to play a true road game all season long. And they're going up against an NC State team that has played tough teams. They played Texas at home, lost by 5. They played Seton Hall at home. I guess those were tournament games. Those weren't at home. Those were the neutral courts. They played at Auburn and lost by 10. They started the year with 4 straight wins at home. NC Central, UAB, UNC Greensboro. They beat VCU. VCU looks like a good team. They destroyed NC Central, UAB, and UNC Greensboro. They just barely beat VCU by 6. VCU, as we said, as we just said, are very good. And then they just took out UNC Asheville. But, they hadn't played at home in a while. They come back. Maybe they didn't take Asheville seriously. They were only up 2 at the half, and it's unacceptable. You have to beat these teams. You have to beat them badly. So now they have Liberty coming in, a better team than UNC Asheville. The market has spoken here with this big move towards the NC State Wolfpack. I moved on NC State first half -7 at -110 because Liberty's going to come into the Lenovo Center and they're going to realize, this is a road game and it's a little different. And NC State, after a poor performance against the UNC Asheville Bulldogs, I think will be alert, will be ready to go, and will take care of business. They're a good basketball team, and the market has moved heavily in their direction. Billy Friedrich on the team total over 82.5. Jose Perez on the other side, Liberty first half. This is the final spot, though. We're almost done. We're almost done fading teams who've not played on the road yet. And we have one more opportunity here. We have destroyed. This has been the number one angle for me all season long. It's just absolutely destroyed. I haven't lost a bet fading a team that hasn't played a road game. I haven't lost. I know the sample size is small, but we're going to run out of these opportunities. We have to smash them while we can. I'm on NC State Wolfpack first half -7 -110. Jose Bouquet.
Beautiful. And by the way, I forgot Will Wade is their coach now. Shout out to Will Wade. Last game on our college football slate here before I talk shit to Daryl about his shitty basketball team and a very important game for Los San Antonio Spurs here tonight. Texas State versus the Southern Jaguars here. Now, Jimmy, I'll start off with the most important information in this game. $16 tickets, but you couldn't pay me to go to fucking bum-ass San Marcos because my experiences there are only negative. No one bet information for this game so far. We have a -3 opener. We see 1 3.5 or where the anonymous gambler applies his trade, but 3s across the board offshore here. Both teams 2-3 their last 5. But Texas State on a 3-game losing streak in their last 5 games, or last 3 games, I should say, as well here. Tell me, Jimmy, that the Southern Jaguars take down Texas State here.
This is the only game I haven't bet yet. This is the fishiest line on the slate. And I just wanted to talk it out. There's a few more games, the rest of the card, because there's only like 4 or 5 more games after this one that I didn't get to. We had the bankroll blitz late last night. And this is such a fishy line. You have a Southern Jaguar team that's played 6 of their 9 games on the road, and they just played at Texas on Monday. I love when you play a much, much better team before playing a weak team that's also undefeated at home. If Texas State is undefeated at home, shouldn't they be bigger favorites against the South Jaguar team that has struggled? This line makes no sense. The first time Texas State Bobcats played this year, they scored 48 points, and they lost by 35 at Bowling Green. It gave you a sense of what you were dealing with here. Then they play Texas A&M San Antonio, beat them by 59 points. They lose at Tulane. They beat UTSA at home. They beat Texas Southern at home, and they beat Abilene Christian at home. They beat Little Rock at home. And then they have a Div 3 Texas Lutheran. Then they lose all 2 games of their tournament. And then they go to Rice, and they lose to Rice. They were dogs there. And then they come back home. This line is so fishy that I think Southland, after playing Texas, can beat Texas State. I just wanted to hear and talk it out with everybody. I wanted to sit with it for longer because this line, it just made no sense. You have a 1-5 team on the road against a 6-0 team at home who's been playing cupcakes. Southern just played Texas. Why wouldn't they be ready to go to walk into Texas State and beat them? The line was so astonishing to me. I thought that a move needed to be made. We do have, Circa moved this to 4 and then moved it just back 30 minutes later to 3.5. So it's still being a 0.5-point move towards Texas State. I just thought this line was so fishy that I wanted to talk it out. I didn't send in the bet yet, but doesn't this appeal here to you, Jose? Don't you think there's something up with this spot? A 6-0 team at home going up against a team that's 1-5 on the road, and they're only 3-point favorites?
Yeah, my only concern there was the 3-game losing streak. Maybe that Texas State is being, undervalued, sell high, or buy low spot in that aspect. But I was a little surprised to see how low this line was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect. It would be what's perfect is the southern side of things, coming off playing Texas. That's perfect. Yeah. What's not perfect, of course, is losing to Seattle and then losing the Lehigh Valley. That was the Resorts World Classic consolation game that went to overtime.
I mean, I can't even imagine just the difference. You play Texas, a D1 school, long, lanky, everything, and then you play Texas State, and you're like, well, this is completely different. I can get much more open. I did this against Texas, and the guy blocked me from behind. These guys aren't doing that type of thing. So, I understand that.
I think that Southern is alive here. Let's just let's just take a look at what Southern has done, because you need proof of concept here, right? Southern started the year at Arkansas and lost 109-77. Then they went to Marquette and lost 180 to 182. They went to Washington and lost 99-93. These are really good basketball teams. They're playing such tough basketball teams. Texas State isn't. Southern should be able to handle Texas State here. How far is it from the San Marcos, from the University of Texas Arena?
Like 45 minutes.
Yeah, Urban Pope, I don't think these guys should be tired, really. I mean, they're kids. It's not that long of a travel.
They obviously didn't leave and come back, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they probably just stayed somewhere in Austin, enjoyed Austin for a few days. How long have they been here? When was the Texas game?
Just on Monday.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think they're Gucci. If they would have left and came back, I would understand that.
So I don't know if I get there. That was the spot that all the rest I've moved on. I'm interested in Southern. I think this line's very fishy. I want to move on Southern. Maybe Urban Pope is right. Do you think then that because of you just faced Texas, you just faced a much tougher squad, and Texas State's being good at home, and maybe they it's hard. The problem is the 3 straight losses. You're right. That's the problem. Texas State's lost 3 straight. But would you prefer Southern first half rather than full game?
That's tough. So I'm not a college basketball bettor. I don't bet it every day, so I find it difficult to try to determine first half full game. But I would probably stick with full game personally, just because that's like the line that we don't see moving. It's just one of those things.
I'll have to sit with the Southern Jaguars a little bit longer, but that is my card. All sent in. NC State first half -7 at -110. Purdue double up first half and full game. First half -12.5, full game -20. I'm on the Bryant Bulldogs +9.5 at Iona. I'm on Marshall -1. That's the corner of Spoons and Bag Boulevard. And we have UNC Asheville +5.5. Princeton -3.5. That's on when I'm on the other side of Spooner. And then we have Matty Ice Taint play of the day, Tennessee Martin +8.5. And that is our college basketball. Deacon, I just didn't have enough time. I was going through every game on the card and I just didn't have enough time here. We can touch on it. Do you want to set up? Why don't we set up? We don't need the graphics for it, but why don't you set up Wisconsin, Nebraska, and we'll just touch on it quickly because it is a big game and it's one I had hoped I was going to get to.
Yeah, there's 59% of the bets and 51% of the money on Nebraska right now. And currently the line, I'm seeing -2. Wow. Interesting, this line movement. So I guess BOL opened this up yesterday at around noon, 1 o'clock. They opened up at Wisconsin -2.5 here. And then it goes from 1.5, hits Pick'em at one point, and then flips to now Nebraska favored by 2 points here. Bookmaker, their opening line here, Wisconsin -2 as well. And it is flipped from Wisconsin -2 to now Nebraska -2 there. And again, for those who didn't hear, 59% of the bets and 51% of the money on Nebraska in this game.
I mean, one thing that we've been saying a lot about in college basketball to a lesser extent, I mean, now because we're so deep in the college football season, but earlier in the year, is just proof of concept. And here you have a Wisconsin Badger team that's played one road game this year, and they lost by 28 points at BYU. That was also November 21st, so they haven't played a road game in 3 weeks. And you have a Nebraska team that's just been sitting at home. They had those couple games on a neutral, but they've just been sitting at home in a perfect world, getting practice in, getting everything in. So I think the line move towards Nebraska, makes sense. And BJ saying, Nebraska priced like this because they're at home. Aubrey Travis on the whiskey money line. This game would take more study at this point here, but I think that you have to trust the fact that whiskey has not proven that they can go on the road and beat a good basketball team. I think that's what the books are seeing here, and we look at the cash flow, 59% of the tickets, 51% of the cash, that's not much.
Our guy BJ, by the way, is in the chat saying opening line says Wisconsin home court matters. Why Nebraska price like this with their record? He thinks it's a perfect spot for Nebraska, yet this line is still a pick 'em. He would look towards Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think that's fair. This did get up to a 2.5. At Circa, they brought it back to a 2. Circa has 75% of the tickets, 90% of the cash on them. I think that I think this is a tough spot. You have the undefeated Cornhuskers playing their first Big Ten game, and it's a huge game for them. They just destroyed Creighton. I mean, they've been beating all these teams by margin, but it's not the toughest group of teams. Wisconsin has had a tougher slate. Now, Wisconsin coming off destroying Marquette. And BJ saying Nebraska should have never been home dogs to begin with is what he's saying. Spooner says that he gave Nebraska on the show last night, but couldn't bet an undefeated team at home versus a team I think is better, and that opened as dogs. Them being at season high value and dogs was too fishy. Yeah, I think that's all valid. I think that's all valid. I need Wisconsin to prove that they can travel into a tough environment, and win. And, they'll be able to do that if they can go into Lincoln and take care of business. So, yeah, I think there's just more to learn. Nebraska's had a very, very cushy schedule, so it's tough to really trust either side here. And I do agree with this move towards Nebraska just because Wisconsin's not proven they can win on the road. So, for me here, I'm off the spot. I'm off the spot here. And oh man, Res Mob, we'll get back to business. We'll get back to business here. We'll get back to the business of making money. Jose, thank you for rocking in college basketball with me, my friend. I'm still trying to decide whether Southern will be a move. When the show is over, I'll finish off those last 5 games of college basketball and see what else I'm on. But all my actions on our Discord, and then I tweeted it out afterwards. So let's go get that cash, Jose. Thank you for all of this, my friend.
Yep, no problem. And, sorry for Pete Alonso ruining half of the breakdowns there. Disappointing.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the Mets wouldn't pay him.
Didn't even offer him a contract.
Yeah.
Told him, hit the fucking bricks.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Yeah. I respect that.
Leader.
Yeah. They need a whole tear down rebuild. They're not going to do it with McNeil, Alonso, those guys. Just keep Lindor. Let's rock and roll. But I can't wait to hear Daryl's breakdown of Spurs Lakers.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be very fun. I was dreaming that Wemby would come back for this game, but I haven't.
We thought there was a chance that was going to happen, but
I haven't heard anything. Yeah.
But nay to the Bob.
Yeah, let's hope. This again, I'm going to say this. Biggest San Antonio Spurs game in quite a while for the San Antonio Spurs. So we'll see if it goes their way. But good luck, everyone. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Thank you, Jose, my friend. Let's get into the NBA. We have just the man for the job, the star of Wednesdays here on Betting with the Bag, coming to us from Los Angeles, California. Please welcome our friend Daryl Rice to the show. Daryl, what's good, man? How are you?
What's up, brother? What is up, man? Happy Wednesday to you. Happy Wednesday to you, man. Good to see you as always. Peace and love to everybody in the chat. And I'm ready to talk some ball, man. It's a good day. So you know what it is. Any day on this side of the grass, brother, is
a good day, my friend. I'm excited.
It is. Yeah.
2 games that we can deep dive into.
Yeah.
Let's get right to work. We have the NBA Cup quarterfinals here and some exciting spots. So let's fire away. We start at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, home of the 23-1 Oklahoma City Thunder, 11-0 at home. Before we get into the line history, let's just talk about the Thunder. They're the 3rd team in NBA history to win at least 23 of their first 24 games.
So that would probably be the Bulls, Golden State, and then OKC.
It was not the Bulls.
Really? Lakers?
No.
Who
You were
was
right
it?
about Golden State.
The Miami Heat of LeBron's era.
No, that is not correct.
Interesting. I would have thought it was that. What was that? The '96 Bulls team?
It was not
Who is
them.
it?
Well, it's a tough answer. It was the 1969-1970 New York Knicks.
Okay.
1969-1970 New York Knicks. The Warriors in 2015-16, if you remember, they won 24 straight to start the
Right.
year.
Yeah, that was a
Which was-
ridiculous year.
Absolutely insane here. All right, let's get to work. Let's pull up the line history and the cash flow. 2 NBA Cup quarterfinal games for us to attack.
Yeah.
So let's go. We have Oklahoma City minus 14.5 at minus 110. They opened up minus 15.5, dropped to 15, dropped to 14.5, dropped down to 14. This was 14 at 10:47 p.m. last night, and it's moved a half point back towards the Thunder. From a total standpoint here, we have a 224. 224 to pick them. This opened up at 224.5, and it climbed very fast. By 4 p.m. yesterday, this was a 228, and then dropped back to 224. So overall, we've had no movement, but there's been a ton of movement. It's just come back from where we started. Then we'll get into the cash flow here. We have 60% of the tickets and 88% of the cash on the Oklahoma City Thunder. We have 53% of tickets on the under and 81% of cash on the under. And it is now moving towards the under, but that took a little bit of time here. So as you guys know, I'm trying very hard not to bet totals. To give you guys a heads up, Operation Garcia will be in effect in the finals of the NBA Cup. Will be in effect. Every player prop on the under will be in effect.
Wow.
Yeah. And last year, it was a game I didn't bet, and it would have paid so much money. It was magic. And it'll be magic every year. It'll be magic every year. So the finals of the NBA Cup, Operation Garcia, will be in effect. We have Stacks play today, number 2 in this one. Suns Thunder over.
Wow.
226.5 for Stacks play today, number 2.
Stacks.
And you guys know I'm trying so hard not to bet totals. Now I bet one on Friday, and it was, I'm not, you guys know I'm not a angle really better, but as I've told you guys, the over 10-point favorites on the first half of a back-to-back, my under record is insane.
Wow.
And the second half of those games go way under. The first half was going over. I live bet it near the end, like maybe with like 2 minutes left in the second quarter. And there was 43 points scored in the third and 43 points scored in the fourth, and we cashed the under by 10. So keep that. It's one of the few angles that I use, and that's the double-digit favorite on the first half of the back-to-back, and it cashed. And then speaking of another casher on Friday, even though I only went 3 and 4 on Friday, it wasn't a great day, was Wine Time getting me on the Thunder minus 15, and that was an absolute smash and grab. So let's set this up for our guy, Daryl Rice. Phoenix 6 and 4 over their past 10, playing at the 20th fastest pace in the NBA, 98.9 possessions a game. Over those 10 games, they're not shooting the ball well at all. 45.9 from the field and 34.6 from 3. If you hear other coaches talking about them, they're just playing with the tenacious defense. They're all in. They're not playing efficient offensively. The Thunder, of course, are undefeated in their last 10 games. They've been playing at the 7th fastest pace, 101.95 possessions a game. I told you guys about 2 weeks ago that the pace of play in the NBA had slowed way down, and it still has. So the fastest pace team in the NBA over the last 10 games playing at 103 possessions a game. When we started the year, they were playing at 106. So it's all slowed way down. The Thunder are playing extremely efficient, 52.6 from the field and 42.2 from 3. This is the final game of a 4-game, well, it might be a final game of a 4-game road trip here for the Phoenix Suns. They're coming off an impressive 108-105 victory at Minnesota on Monday. And Booker is expected to play here. He's missed the last 2 games after sustaining the right groin strain on December 1st. And Ott said that he could come back, but there's no for sure spot. No one is confirming that he's definitely going to be in. We have him listed here as questionable at this point. So let's just, if we can, nothing, no new information, but we expect Booker to be in, I believe. We know what the situation is for OKC. Isaiah Joe and Hartenstein both out, which has no injuries have affected them at all. Ronnie Lofton says the Suns battle on D with Brooks staying on top of him. Now, Brooks is dealing with Achilles soreness, but God, he's been playing very tough, and they've just been saying the nicest things about him. The Thunder coming off their 15th straight win. So they have tied a franchise record. They win tonight, and they break the franchise record with 16 straight wins. So there's a lot on the line here for the Thunder. They sat Shea out. He missed the 131-101 win at Utah on Sunday. He missed that with a left elbow bursitis, but he's not on the injury report. He's all good to go. So there's only been one game during Oklahoma's 15-game winning streak that's been decided by fewer than 8 points.
And it's against the Sun.
Yeah, against Phoenix. Now, we did cash fading the Thunder in one game. The only one we tried to fade him with was with the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, they were in that game. It was a 1-point game with a minute and a half left, and they still lost by 8.
It lost by 8, yeah.
Crazy what
that
the Thunder
was 10.5. So that closing line was 10.5. So yeah, that was the start actually of their 3-game skid of losing against the spread. So they had lost that spread to mini at 10.5. Phoenix, I mean, that spread closed at 14.5, and they won that game by 4 points. And then their nemesis, Portland, that spread was 11.5, and they only beat them by 8 points. And that should have been what you would consider a revenge game, since that's OKC's only loss. So, there's some things that stick out with this game, but I'll let you finish breaking it down.
Well, I don't need to say any more, but Aubrey, I don't, at this point, I don't care what ESPN is listing him as. You know, everybody's saying Sham's saying he's been upgraded.
Yeah.
I expect him in.
I went early too, and maybe I shouldn't have. So there's a couple of moves I already made, and I actually posted it on Twitter because I don't know what that number is going to be. But I've already moved on Colin Gillespie's threes. If you looking for like a breakout player right now with all the injuries and things like that, I know there's a lot of attention being, paid to Dylan Brooks, as he should, because once he got the green light to shoot, that's exactly what he's been doing, right? And so Dylan is a good role player to the point of leading by example as far as gritty and tough play. I personally have never liked Dylan Brooks, personality-wise. But what you can't take away from him is he is going to step into that villain role, and he's going to play that villain role to a T, right? He don't care who you are. He's got that every man puts on his pants the same way. I'm not afraid of no man, and he gets out there and balls. But what I do like is where Colin Gillespie has gone. And so I've moved on his threes already. And just for reference, these last 5 games against the Suns, already he put up 6 threes against the Suns. He had 24 points that game, I believe. Against the Nuggets, 4. Against the Lakers, he balled out and had 8. Against the Rockets, he had 1. And then against Minnesota, he had 3. I think the threes are the look here, and I went over 2.5 threes for Colin Gillespie. But the thing is I honestly made that play based on the fact that Devin Booker is going to play. I think that's why the number is the way it is, right? I think Devin's going to play. If he didn't play or if he doesn't play, I might just ladder that, right? Because I think Colin is the true shooter there. And I know there was a couple of games where Grayson was out too. I'm not sure if it was that Laker game. It might have been that Laker game where he had. But all in all, I think that's the side to go. And here's another thing. I looked at the team total. And Jay, that team total for OKC is 119.5. And that seems just really low for a team that's giving you 131 against the Jazz, 132 against Dallas, 124 against Golden State, 123 against Portland, 123 against Phoenix. 2 games where they have not hit the 120 mark. And that was against Sacramento, and that was against Minnesota. That seems kind of low for a team that can just pretty much call their own number. Why not go for the team total over? You know, and to me, things that just look too easy, you probably need to give it another look. And I know we don't have it up here, Jay, but based on my NBA record right now, it's probably not something I should be thinking that anything is easy, right? So, but that team total is worth a look at as well. But my favorite play that I do like here is Colin Gillespie over 2.5 threes. Also wanted to possibly make a move on Mark Williams, but I missed the number. I think his points were at 9.5 opening. It's now at 11.5. So I'm going to pause on that and just stick with Gillespie. Might take Gillespie's points, but those points are going to be absolutely determined by if Devin is playing for sure or not.
Yeah, I am hesitant to get what was the vig on your Gillespie over 2.5?
Minus 107. So I got it a little early. I think if I got, is that minus 140 now?
Oh wow. Let me see. Let me take a look here. I'm hesitant to move on anything here, really. I guess if the best case scenario might be Booker not in the lineup. Line moves to 16.5 or 17, and then taking the Suns.
Oof.
You know,
Yeah.
I get that's the that's the only angle I can buy in on.
This is a hurry up and wait game. You know what I'm saying? This one here, especially if you're dealing with the side or total. The props, I guess you may want to either get ahead of what that injury report or what you think is going to say, but either way, there's no way I could choose a side or total right now, especially with this team. These teams just playing each other. You know, was it the day after Thanksgiving? So, obviously, OKC is you blindly take them and just live with the results, right? Even if you've just been taking their spreads, you've went what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, you've went 5-5, so you've broken even if you've just taken their spreads on every game. But yeah, it's cut play. We'll see what happens here.
By the way, you annihilated that line move. Absolutely annihilated it. The Gillespie threes 2.5 at the sharpest offshore in the lands minus 164.
Oh Jesus! And that's happening in real time. So that should tell you something. That should tell you something too. There. I mean, that's happening. I'm going to look at my book, my local here, and see if it went past 140.
That's a wild number. It's a massive beating a number in a prop like that. I mean, you got to feel very comfortable with the situation.
Yeah, I'm seeing a minus 148. Wow. So that'll probably get to 3.5.
Wow. And then if anybody still likes it, you can just turn it into a 3 if you wanted. Let's see what it is here.
Lower vig.
Yeah, it's minus 140 here. Minus 164 at the sharpest book is absolutely wild. A Yankee, JJ saying can't take player props against the Thunder defense. Lion King bets is on Suns plus 14.5. I would prefer the slightly higher number without Booker. The only problem, like a Lion King, I like it. I'm not against it at all. The issue for me is that the Thunder have a lot. They care about this game. Break the franchise record. They don't care about covering 15 points. I don't mean that, but they care about, producing in this basketball game. I guess there's nothing for me at this point. Gillespie over 2.5 threes here for our guy, Durrell. Lion King saying backdoor cover. No, I feel that. Los Chuti, 94 in the house, says he laid it with the Thunder.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way you could go, really, with how they play. It's just, they are going to get up for this game. And it's either it's OKC or nothing. But like I said, it's a cup game, so it's not going to be as easy as you think.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend some more time with it. I do find the Suns more appealing to battle if they don't have Booker in the lineup. Tariq saying that he will live bet the Suns after the first half for a bigger spread. That's his plan. The problem is that the Thunder don't always come out flying. Like there'll be a 1 or 2 point game with 5 or 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Huh. But Los Judy moving on the Thunder. I get it. I can see both sides. I'm hesitant to move.
Right.
Again, as you guys see with NBA, I have an enormous amount of fear with the NBA. And I know everyone will say, scare money, don't make money, all that shit. But it's helped me very, very much. And I have no problem with the appearance of possible corruption. I know exactly what I'm getting myself into, and I'm getting myself into it, with pleasure. Let's move on to our next spot on the board. And this is a big one. Jose pumped up about this game.
I know.
Jose pumped up about this game. Let's get Jose on here for this game.
He said no. Why?
I want him on here. Let's get him on here.
Come on. This is
Come on, Daryl.
Oh,
Come on.
What has happened? You look totally different.
Wait a minute.
You gotta love the cup, Daryl.
Oh, it's a hat.
You gotta love the cup.
Maybe he slicked it back.
What's going on here, man? I mean, aren't you a Boston fan?
I am.
You're in San Antonio.
I'm right here.
Oh,
what do you want me to do? I can't support the local 11?
No, you can't. Not as a Boston fan.
Come on. Daryl, the Lakers, they have no soul. They have no heart. They have no fight.
We do this every year, Jose. Every fucking year we do this. And you just been on a high horse ever since you won the championship 2 years ago?
Yeah, I'm great times.
Your team is absolute ass.
That's not true. We're better than you guys. We beat you guys.
We're second in the conference right now. What are you talking about?
We beat you guys.
Oh, come on.
We took an open hand slap and just...
Man, that was off of a back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? No Luka.
What do you want me to do? I'm not the NBA schedule makers. You guys don't have heart. No heart.
You guys are absolute ass, man. Absolute ass. You are. You're a poor excuse for a Celtics fan because you're rooting for the San Antonio.
I go both ways, Daryl. You know how it is.
Oh, pause.
We have the NBA quarterfinals at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California. San Antonio Spurs 16-7, 7-5 on the road. The LA Lakers 17-6, 7-3 at home.
Yeah.
The Spurs look so dangerous. I mean, the fact that Dylan Harper is so comfortable going to the hoop against, men.
How old is that guy again?
Oh, God, he's so comfortable. You don't know.
19? Oh.
The way he goes with his left and his right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is insane. The talent pool that's being developed by the San Antonio Spurs here.
I'm going to tell you something, man. These basketball kids that are coming out right now, like the kids of basketball players, man, this new class that's about to come out, it's going to be pretty deadly, man. You see Boozer's son balling, Kean Anthony balling, Harper is a baller. I like that kid a lot. I really do. And I think he fits that system really.
I guess watching him last year in college, I just was disappointed. Just so disappointed that I don't know. I just had such higher expectations for the squad and for him, and watching him play in the NBA is very different. I mean, he just looks like an absolute monster. Let's set this. I can't believe that they have. I mean, what a stockpile of talent. So we know Wemby is out, and the Lakers are healthy. Just Kleber out for them. So other than Wemby, we're going to see a full assortment of talent here. Let's set up the line history for game 2 here. We have a total of 240.5.
Yeah, shot up.
Opened up at 235, and we're now at 240.5.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot on the line in this game. Should the total be this high?
Well, yeah. And here's the reason why. Lakers can't defend the three right now. I think they're like fourth worst. And that's all you need to do is make threes to be in the game. So I can see them just coming out hot, making threes, both sides. But I'm looking at the ass end of the number. Lakers cannot defend the three right now at all.
Now they get Marcus Smart back, so they get the one.
That's fine.
Perimeter defender, at least.
Yeah, but he's not going to defend he's not going to defend both guards at the same time.
No doubt.
He's the only player with heart on that team.
Oh God. This motherfucker.
The Lakers opened up at -4.5. They go to 5.5 to 6, 6.5 to 7. So we have a 2.5 point move towards the Los Angeles Lakers. So we have a 2.5 point move to the Lakers, a 5 point move to the over. The El Dorado custodian says Lakers -7.5. No thanks. Says no.
I know.
Thanks. Let's talk about the cash flow. We have 58% of the tickets, 62% of cash on the Lakers. So we have to respect this market move towards them. Maybe it's partially or part and parcel with the idea that we thought Wemby might come back. 75% of tickets, 77% of cash on the under, and it just keeps climbing. Just keep climbing. Yankee JJ says, I see this game going over. We have both teams shooting the ball nice. Now, Lakers are not playing very fast. 22nd in the NBA, last 10 games, 98.75 possessions a game, while the Spurs are playing at 100.75 possessions a game. The Spurs are shooting 47.1 from the field and 37.4 from three over those 10 games. Lakers are shooting better, 51 from the field and 38.8% from three. And each team is just rolling. Lakers have won 9 of their last 11. Spurs have won 8 of their last 11. Spurs coming off their third win in 4 games, 135-132 at the Pelicans on Monday, and this may conclude a 4-game trip. We know that Wemby went through the pregame workouts on Monday, so there were people that thought he would play, but he's out. And they keep rolling. Harrison Barnes went for 24. Dylan Harper off the bench went for 22. Champagny went for 17 with 5 threes. Castle played for the first time in 10 games, 18 points and 5 assists. So Castle, Harper, and De'Aaron Fox were all available in a game for the first time all year. So San Antonio, shot 47.2 from 3, 17 of 36. And now they face a Lakers team that just can't defend the 3. Against the Lakers, opponents are shooting 37.9% from 3. Lakers finished off a 3-game road trip with a 2-1 win finished off a 2-1 road trip with a 112-108 win at Philadelphia on Sunday. They flew back on Monday, had Tuesday off, so they got some time. As I said, Marcus Smart is, back, made the season debut, he's back, expected to return here, and LeBron made the season debut back on November 18th. LeBron averaging 16.1 points and 7.6 assists a game. And he hit the go-ahead 3 on Sunday with 112 remaining. Hit another one with 27.4 remaining. Shout out to Just by 2 Cents in the house. So he finished with a season-high 29 points, 12 in the fourth. Remember, it was in Toronto where LeBron didn't go for double digits. Luka, though, 31, 15, and 11. And Austin Reeves coming off a 3 of 16 shooting performance for just 11 points here.
Right.
So we have Chill Will on over 15.5 PRA for Luka the Dawn. Chris Warren on Fox over 22.5 points and Rui over 11.5 points. Daryl Rice, a big one in La La Land, man. Crypto.com Arena hosting the Spurs to get into the NBA Cup semifinals. Take it away.
Yeah, so whoever you said locked in the 22.5 points by De'Aaron Fox. Great play. And I'm seeing his line already at 24.5. So if he got the 22.5, that's a really good play. I think that's a good angle there. I like Luke over his threes. So that's the first move I made was Luka's threes. And let me make sure his threes are 3.5. I'll give you that line. It's probably, I don't know if it's moved at all. I'll tell you, though, if it's moved. But Luka over 3.5 threes now sitting at -120. I also like Luka's assists. And his assists are sitting at 8.5 right now at -112. Luka's assists and Luka's threes. I wanted to get there with De'Aaron. I think that was a really good look. And I might get there with Harrison's threes also. But for right now, those are the two plays I like. His threes, his assists, and then let's just go ahead and take his points also. So right now, I got it at 33.5. It's juiced to the under. It's juiced to the under. So I got over 33.5 points at -102.
And
So
give me the threes and the assists one more time. Sorry, I was. We have Dizzy. Norfolk State was 60. He needs him to get to 61 for the push. I think it's just the push.
yeah, the assist for Luka is -112, and the threes are -120.
Assist -112. And how many? Sorry, can you give me those again?
8.5 assists and 3.5 threes.
For 8.5 assists and over 3.
Now in these Cup games, Luka just goes off, and that's why I paid more attention to Luka than to Reeves. Game against the Clippers that they won, Luka 43 points, 135 to 118. Game against the Mavericks, of course, these are shoddy ass teams, but still, Luka puts up points. Luka gives you 35 and 11. Now that was against his former team, but he put up 129 points. This is my favorite play, though. My favorite play, and it would be I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is, but I don't know how to say that backwards. But right now, do you know who's number 1 in the league against the spread in the first quarter? Spurs. And what they're doing is ridiculous. 17-6 overall to the first quarter spread. At home, they're 8-3. And away, they're 8-3. Last 10, 7-3. The Lakers are third worst in the league when it comes to first quarter spreads. They're 8-14. They're 3-7 at home and 5-7 away. In their last 10, they're 4-6. Give me the Spurs plus 2.5 first quarter. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a tied game, but I also wouldn't be surprised if San Antonio is winning the first quarter. But give me the Spurs plus 2.5 first quarter. That is my favorite play.
Spurs first quarter plus 2.5. What's the VIG you're getting on this?
Let's see here, because that was my single play. I'm probably going to be at a -115, but I will tell you.
Jeez, so Dizzy needs 61 points for Norfolk State. They just went to the line and missed both. Now they're going back to the line again. He needs one foul shot to cash.
-120.
-120. What a roller coaster ride action is.
And that's funny too, because I now see it at 2.
Interesting.
While you guys do this, I have to depart you guys on screen, but I am on Spurs money line plus 235. I'm coming for your neck, Daryl. I'm coming for your neck.
Hey,
coming for your neck.
You want to place a little wager on this that you do not fucking
I don't. But I'm gonna win my bet.
Okay. I get it.
Dizzy got his 61, man. So he needed 1 point, and they missed 2 foul shots. They got another chance, missed the 3rd foul shot, and then hit the 4th foul shot.
The story of my life when it comes to betting ball right now, too, man. Seriously. And
so
go ahead.
We have Jose on the Spurs money line plus 235. We have Durrell on the Spurs first quarter plus 2.5 -120. The full game, a point total for Luka over 33.5, assists over 8.5, and Luka over 3.5 threes. Chill Will is on. Chill Will's making a move as well, but with the PRA over 50.5 instead of separating them. Why are you separating them? You just want more?
I separated those because I feel more confident, if you will, about his assists than his points. So it's probably dumb on my end, or maybe just be overthinking things, but I just wanted to single those because I think if any of those props he don't hit, I think it's his points. I think those assists are fine, and I think those threes are fine. But I didn't look at it from a mathematical perspective, taking the PRA or even just the points and assists. He's averaging 9.7 assists right now. So it's just a half above that number that he's asking for. But those points, they got him at 33.5 right now. I think he's averaging 31. So I just felt a little more confident on the assists single and the 3 single, just singling them all. I believe he goes off. He's going to have to. But I think the thing is that because there's no paint protection now without Wemby there, that he's going to make that defense collapse. And he'll be able to dish it out to Ayton, dish it out to Rui. I like Rui's threes too, because you know that Luka is going to command the double. And the way that they're staggering Luka and how well Reeves is playing but how they're staggering Luka and LeBron to where both of them are on the court for a short amount of time, but then at least one of them is always on the court. I just believe that is going to cause some doubles when it's just Luka on the court and not LeBron.
I feel that. Los Chudy saying take the over. I can't, if any line moves more than 2.5 points, it's just a rule that I've had for 10 years. I have to let it go.
And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this hits like 250. You know, like I said, they could be just raining threes all over the place. And don't let the Spurs come out hot shooting threes. This is why I like the first quarter also.
Yeah, I thought for sure that we would get to, and Phillip Rivers will play Sunday, says AM. Well, that's great.
Up.
That's great because I'm already on.
Serious?
I'm already on the under. I think he plays clean and barely throws.
I mean, you think first off, he doesn't know that whole playbook, right?
Well, it's his old team, though. I think a 44-year-old guy.
He's 44, man. The thing is, he's going to air it out a couple of times. He's absolutely going to do that. That's just the pride of the quarterback showing I still got it. But this has just got to be a Taylor game. It's got to be a Jonathan Taylor game.
Well, they're going to get annihilated.
I think so. Yeah, why didn't they just go with the young guy?
I mean, you mean Brett Rippon and Riley Leonard's hurt. That's why Riley Leonard's not coming. They would much prefer to have Riley Leonard.
Yeah,
he hurt his knee in the game.
Man, that's just so weird. It's so weird. I love Phillip Rivers, man. I mean, I'm a Chargers fanatic. So, you know, looking at Rivers kind of come behind Drew Brees and how bad we kind of did Drew Brees, which I still don't like because he goes over to New Orleans, the hat you're wearing, and he wins a Super Bowl. But, you know, Phillip Rivers was a good successor. I really like that guy a lot. I really do. So best of luck to him.
Yeah, Chris Bourne said he looks horribly out of shape.
Come on, man. That guy, he's a jackrabbit, man.
Wait, AM saying it's not confirmed yet. Okay, it's not confirmed. Okay, well, no, it's all good. We will wait and see. You know, why don't we just take a second here before we? So, you know, look, I thank God for Durrell. Thank God for you guys and your action here. I can't. There's nothing. Okay, I'll tell you what I will do. If Devin Booker is announced out, I'll let the line move towards the Thunder, and then I will take the Suns.
I would still live bet it.
I'll take the Suns to battle and scrape and, you know, stay within 16 or 17. Durrell's on Gillespie over 2.5 threes in that one.
Yeah.
And then with the Lakers Spurs again, that, you know, my instinct is to want the under. The 5-point move to the over, because, you know, it's funny, Los Chudy, if it goes to 7.5 or anything, a 7-point move, fading a 7-point move that's non-injury related, I'm undefeated this year.
Got it. Well,
now that's only though true, because this is important. It's only when it goes 7 points to the over. It's not when it goes 7 points to the under, because that happened a week and a half ago, and I didn't take the over, and it went way under. So it's only when it goes 7 points or more to the over, I fade that line move. I don't believe that the models could be that wrong.
What do you think the line should have been at 4.5 toward the Lakers if Wemby was playing? Do you still think that the Lakers should have been favored by that much?
I think that's part of it, but they found out that Wemby wasn't playing last night.
Right, and I mean this went up immediately. All I'm saying is, 7 seems like a lot of points for a Lakers team right now against this type of team who's kind of. I'm just surprised that you know, it hasn't stabled down and hit a 7 or a 6.5. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Look, I'm gonna have to stay off. I've hit the college basketball card pretty hard, and we're gonna get more action coming up.
Yeah, it's Jose Perez tomorrow too. A lot of games tomorrow. So, I felt the same way looking at the sides and the totals.
Well, you have action though. Luka over 3.5 threes, over 8.5 assists, and over 33.5 points. Spurs first quarter plus 2.5 for our guy Daryl Rice. Jose on the Spurs money line at plus 235. Daryl, thank you for your time, my friend. I'm excited about the whole year to cap with you. I enjoy very, very much. I'm gonna pop It's Daryl's X handle here in the chat. Support our guy Daryl Rice, man. Support him.
Get out of here. What do you think about that Chargers and Eagles game?
I mean, I was astonished that the Eagles. AJ Brown was astonishing.
Mhm.
You know, like the Chargers were fully worthy of cashing it, but I still, you know, the 4 interceptions from Jalen Hurts.
Right.
I have, you know, as much as I talk about the vividness bias and the recency bias, it affects me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the vividness bias of the Chiefs and the Eagles, like I'm interested in the Eagles tonight. I'm interested in the Eagles this weekend, and it's a game that's going to be talked about with Troy and I and Kyle Kerms on the Sauce Network tonight. And I'm not on it, but one of the three of us is on the Eagles. And I'm not, even this line's moving against them. I'm not against moving on it with them. I just want to hear the whole breakdown. And then with the Chiefs, I moved on the first half under and the full game under. Sports scientist Jacob bet the look ahead at 45.5. I'm sitting here with a 42.5. Wow. I still like it. I still think that the cold weather will affect the fracture much more than playing indoors for Herbert. But I'm on the Chiefs double result again. Like I just can't stop myself here, and we'll see if that hurts. But look, the Chargers had to win that football game. They have a very, very tough schedule to finish off.
I think they beat the Chiefs. I think they do. We'll see, though.
You think they beat the Chiefs?
Yeah, I do. Something hasn't been right with the Chiefs, and I've been saying it all year. All year. I think they're past their winning days. I really do.
I might bet more on the Chiefs, honestly, here.
You've got a lot of ride on that, because didn't you bet the Chargers to not make the playoffs, Jay?
Yeah, but I got plus 300.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a $500. I get $1,500, or I pay out what, like $130, $150. Yeah. Who doesn't want to take that action? Yeah. But no, it's not that. It's the what have the Chargers done outdoors on the road to inspire any confidence whatsoever? They lose 35-7 at Jacksonville. Now they're going to play again in the freezing cold. I do not believe that the Chiefs have given up. I mean, yes, something's wrong with them, but you know, in Kelsey's final season, I just don't think they're going to mail it in. I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. And then you have the Chargers on a short week with the quarterback with a fractured hand against the team that's going to put it all on the line. Now look,
revenge game at that, if you want to say that, but I don't have faith in the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, that's
me though. And the funny thing is, my superstitious ass, I haven't even been playing the Chargers because I feel like when I don't play them, they win. So that's going to just be for the next 4 weeks.
Well, let's take a second if you have some time, Daryl. Yeah. I wouldn't mind just going over my action here, because I want to talk about what I'm going to be working on is the possible additions here. So I'm going to just pull up my action here very quickly.
Okay.
And here we go. NFL Week 15. So I've got all one thing. So this is where I stand right now, and I want to go over it quickly. And then I want to talk about the possible addition. So I've got Cleveland, Chicago, first half under 20 and full game under 39.5. And I have the Bears double result. Yeah. I'm interested in adding the Bears minus 7.5. Now, Pochik is out as well. You have 3 offensive linemen out for the Browns, and you have Shadur Sanders' first true road game. And I'm a fan of Shadur. I want him to succeed. I certainly want to fade him. Here, fade the Browns here without. Now he doesn't have a starting center. He doesn't have Wyatt Teller. It's a real bad spot here. I'm on Atlanta, Tampa, first half under and full game under, 22.5 and 44.5 on Thursday night. I just talked about the Chiefs action. I'm on the Bills. I'm on Arizona, Houston, first half over and full game over. And that's become maybe my favorite spots on the board here, and I'll explain them more as the week goes on. I'm also on Detroit, LA Rams, first half under 27.5 and full game under 55. I'm going up against this major market move towards the over, and I'm doing it with some confidence. I'm on the Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints, first half over and full game over. I'm on the 49ers minus 12.5. I've only taken one double-digit favorite this year, I believe. I have to go over it, and I cash that. I rarely do it. Mm-hmm. I'm on the Colts, Seahawks, full game under 42.5 and Minnesota +6. AM saying Commanders worth a look. Yes, I agree. With Daniels out now, I'm going to give him a very, very long look. Very long look. So just I want to just say this out loud before I go work on it now. So the spots, I really want the under in Baltimore, Cincinnati. I just think it's a crazy bet to make at this point. And I thought this total would go up. I'm shocked that it's not going up. I thought it would go up to 52.5 and to 53. It's not. It's sitting at 51.5. I was planning on betting them last night, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to bet them now and wake up and see it move to 52.5. So I've held off on that one, but I'm going to bet them. I really want to bet them. And then the only other main spots that I'm looking at are the Bears minus the points. Then now the Commanders, with like AM's talking about with the optics and no Jaden Daniels coming off of a shutout. And then I guess that's it. Then look at Troy. I've got all that in. I thought there was one more, but what were you going to say, my man?
I've taken a little advice from a brother of mine that's in a betting group that I'm in. He's been cashing, man, but he does money line parlays. He'll take two teams and do money line parlays. And you still got some vig, right? But I mean, it's low risk. So the teams that I like right now, I haven't pushed the button on it, but the teams that I like right now to win outright are Chicago and Dallas. You look at that, your number might be different, but for both of those teams to win, I have it at minus 129. Now, you can add San Francisco on there against the Titans, and that brings mine down to minus 102, but I wouldn't go three teams. So as it gets closer to the weekend, I'll probably make a move on two of those three teams there. And that is either Chicago and Dallas or Chicago and San Francisco or Dallas and San Francisco, but it's going to be some variation.
Troy, Kyle, and I are all on the Vikings.
Really?
Yeah.
But I'm assuming you're just taking the points, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we can both win there.
But if this closes at 5.5, that Troy will have the money line on the Vikings.
Wow.
Anytime it goes through the 6 and closes below the 6, he takes the money line as well.
Takes the money line.
We hammered the Vikings last week. It was wonderful. And you don't want to buy the Vikings high, but I like Flores' defense against the Cowboys here.
Dallas can't afford to lose a game. I mean, they have to win out, right? Just to get in at this point.
Yeah, they have a 7% chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah. So spread I'm not too concerned about, but I know they need to play, right? And then they have the Chargers next week in Dallas or in Arlington, in Jerry World. So you don't want to drop. I could see them losing to the Chargers because of how good the Chargers defense is versus, Minnesota. So if I have to pick the lesser of two evils, and this is just the way I thought about it, Dallas needs to get up for this game. Absolutely get up for this game. Same conference, you need to get up for this game. Chargers game, that game is going to be a little harder than this one. So you take care of the people that you need to take care of, and you can absolutely take care of many. Absolutely. Chicago, everything that you said, Jimmy, there's no way Shador's going in there and beating Chicago at all. No way. And so, those points should be easy points, but again, I just try to lower as much risk as possible. So that's what I've been doing.
Look, Troy hits the money line parlays too. I've bet a few of them this year for the first time. So
but now that you've said that, that's why I haven't moved on it. But that's a good system to have. If it gets under 5.5, you just take that Vikings money line, and that will be a fucking upset. It will be crazy if they beat Dallas outright. In Dallas.
Yeah, I think they're capable of doing it. So,
Yeah.
oh wow, Lil Domo and Chill will be at Cowboys Chargers. Oh, that's dope, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
dope.
Yeah, my brother-in-law actually hit me up and he asked me to get him some Chargers gear. He's got a new baby boy, and he stays out in Texas. He's out in Grapevine. And so I've got to send him like a little onesie, Chargers onesie. That's going to be the first game that he takes his son to, is a Chargers and Dallas Cowboys game. I thought that was real cool. So I got to that reminds me, I got to send off a couple jerseys and some onesies for the baby, man. But yeah, that should be a fun game.
That's dope. Speaking of the Dallas Minnesota spot, I'm also a little interested in the Dolphins, but right now Minnesota has 21% of the tickets and 48% of the cash. The line opened up at 7.5 and has moved through the 6 to 5.5.
Wow.
So I have some concern.
Eesh. So I'm glad I didn't step on that yet. What is the team total
for
Dallas Cowboys? I mean, I'm just thinking they should.
That's
easily
another thing. I want the under in that football game. I just don't know if I'm going to get there. I kind of want to sign from the books. Betting an under in Dallas is very nerve-wracking.
That is, yeah. You got to pair me to do that, brother, for real. But, I mean, it was the same team, I think, that put up 14 points only against the Bears earlier in the season. So they do have these moments.
Cowboys team totals at 27.5 juice to the under.
Eesh.
Plus 100 for the over.
Wow.
And
interesting.
Let's just see what's going on with the Jaden Daniels announced out. God,
I wouldn't play him for the rest of the year.
But I mean, he's not hurt.
Yeah, but
there's no long-term injury. There's no nothing. Like they're just. Why would you? I mean, I can understand resting him this week, but if you have a healthy quarterback.
But he was still wearing a cast or a brace last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, if Dan Quinn would not say, "Look, there's no long-term effects. He's not hurt. He could go this week."
Right.
He wouldn't throw Jaden Daniels under the bus, make him look like
true.
I don't know. But I thought the same way until Dan Quinn said, "Look, there's no long-term issues, nothing at all. He's fine."
Yeah,
so.
I want to see what Jaden's mama say, because it seemed like she didn't want to hold it down.
Oh, I know.
She'll get on there and say some crazy shit, but she's got all hands on deck when it comes to him and his injury status and things of that nature. So we'll see.
My man, Daryl, we're going to put a bow on the proceedings here. Jose is off producing in the building right now, so I'm going to shut it down.
Okay.
But much love, Daryl. Love capping with you. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your angles. Go get that cash.
Let's get it, man.
Next Wednesday, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get it, brother. I hope everybody cashes today. I need to cash. I need to get out of this slump, man, so I can call myself an actual bettor. So let's start with tonight, man. I will see you next week.
There is our guy.
You ready for this? Here's my analysis. I don't give a fucking shit. I don't give a fucking shit. So yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fucking shit. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is.
Yeah, Big Scott. It's a new record time, my man. It is a new record time. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Big Scott, Chris Warm, Justin McKelvey, Coyne, Kyle Fields. Kyle, God, Kyle, I'm gonna reach out today. I'm gonna reach out right after. I got a little bit of time here to get some work done. Chill Will, Yankee JJ, Andrew G, AM. Thank you for joining us. AM Peanut, Bo Jackson. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us, man. Truly means so much. Let's go a quick review of all action here on the show. We've already had our guys, Billy Friedrich and Justin McKelvey, cash the Stacks play today and the Pig Milk play today, respectively. That was on Baylor Norfolk State over 149. Stacks play today, number 2, Suns Thunder over 226.5. Goracle is on a Lakers Nebraska moneyline parlay. Johnny Blaze is on the Flames, UT Martin And remember, UT Martin is taint. We'll go over that in a second. And then Notre Dame, Purdue, and the team total over for the Spurs. Ricky Levine in the house. He's on the Blackhawks, the Mammoth, and the LA Kings. I'm on the under 6 in Rangers, Chicago. I may add that first period under 1.5. I think I will. I'm already on the Mammoth money line, and I'm going to add the under in Kings Kraken. AM's action was the Kraken at plus 130. Then Res Mob, the respect play of the day is VCU first half minus 5.5 at minus 115. Thank you, Tariq. Thank you, Big Scott. Thank you, Old E. Big game tomorrow, Old E. We need you on screen for it, man. Spooner is on Merrimack, NJIT, Eastern Michigan, and Marshall. I'm going to spend some more time on those games. I'm on Princeton minus 3.5, Asheville plus 5.5. Don't forget, Tennessee Martin plus 8.5 is taint. I'm on Marshall minus 1, Bryant plus 9.5, Purdue first half minus 12.5, full game minus 20, NC State first half minus 7. I'm going to study Southern a little bit more. AM is on Minnesota, Purdue over 142.5, Norfolk State. Oh, we already catch that. Jackson State, Houston over 135.5, and Lamar, San Diego over 135.5. Then Durrell gave us Gillespie over 2.5 threes. And he gave us Luka over 3.5 threes, over 8.5 assists, over 33.5 points. Spurs first quarter plus 2.5. Jose gave us Spurs money line. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us here at Pub Sports Radio. We have time to work on tomorrow's card, which is what I'm going to start doing right now. Kids won't be home for about 30 minutes. Get some work done and go out there and get that cash. Thank you guys so much for your support. We have a huge, huge week ahead. Tomorrow, Betting with the Bag at 12 p.m. And then, of course, our NFL live stream, man. Thank you, Godfather. Thank you to all of you guys for your support. Roll that shit like that shit is smoking leche. Hey, los bookmakers is milked up.
From down south, where we ride on flares. From down south, where we ride on flares. From down south, where we ride on flares. From down south, where we ride on flares.
Pub Sports Radio's the crew, that's a fact. We all about bread, making bank accounts fat. Who the hell is that? LJ from the H. I stack green like Boston, shout out to Nasty Nate. From down south, where we ride on slab. 420 highway smoking with that boy Gabby Cap. Fly out to Denver for the Nugget fans so we can smoke out J Money, cause you know that's our mans. Us against the bookies, put money in our pockets. Fly out to Vegas, meet up with Ski Crockett. Hit the sports books, we got money to stack. Can't forget them college picks with that boy Conor Mack. Call up Dutch boy, cause you know we stay fresh. What's the strain of the day, homie? Watch the daily sesh. Roll up a paper plane, light up a Sparky. If I need a strikeout prop, we gon' holler at Sharpie. Cross over to the West Coast and holler at Fam. If we talking NBA, I got to hit, try, wham. Always tapping in, money's what we trust. If I need a team total, gotta hit nut flush, cause I'm fishing for bait. Smoking straight to the chest. Gotta fly out to the Beta, homie, moose money bets. From books to west, cash and checks what we do. Cause I'm hoop banging with Boss and the OG Raccoon. If we need it under, I gotta hit no nose. If I ladder my prop, I gotta holler Big Show. Now we back to the East Coast for Nicky Fish Tanks. We watching UFC, keeping money in the bank. Die Hard and Danny Betts and the whole damn crew. Nick's the only guy I know can drink a brew by his shoe, but hey, that's what he do. It is what it is. I can't forget that Jersey boy, that homie Billy Breeze. If I need an ice pick, I go to Ontario, holler my ice guy, Ian Bobino. And if I need some advice in trying to cash, tune into Peter Loshak and Jimmy the Bag. And hit that like button, make sure that you smash it. The famous words of razor sharp picks, cash shit. I'm on my poker shit, stacking my chips. If we ever lose a bet, man, we never gon' trip. Cause I'm like Night M, pimp slap player of the day. Ron Crawford spreadsheet, what more can you say? It's how we stay paid each and every day. Can't forget about the producer, say, hey, Jose. Tell your mother, your father, your son, and your daughter. Cause nothing's going down without the Don Jeff Slaughter. All you low baggers, hold it down in the chat. If you missed all that, the remix will be back. Yeah.